All right, good afternoon, baseball fans. Kyle Hoehne broadcasting live from Verne, California. It is NCAA Division III Baseball Super Regional Game 2 between the Lynchburg Hornets and the Verne Leopards. We are excited to be here with you today. We're about to hit the 11 o'clock hour West Coast time, and we are so glad you are listening and checking us out wherever you are and whenever, of course. You might go back and listen to this in the future. I'm sure we may tune in on the plane ride home. But let's set the stage for you here today, fans. Lynchburg comes into the game having won 9 in a row, and those are all postseason games. That goes back to the ODAC opening round against Bridgewater, a run through the Old Dominion Athletic Conference tournament, an undefeated run in the Cleveland Regional last week, and a victory yesterday, 7-1. They beat the Verne Leopards. Lynchburg was the home team. Verne is the host school. The Leopards will be the home team here in Game 2, by the way. But Lynchburg got 7 runs on just 6 hits. They did take 7 walks and 4 hit by pitch. In typical Lynchburg fashion, they found a way to get runners on base. The big inning was the explosion in the 8th. It was a 6-run 8th inning, and all 6 runs came with 2 outs in that inning. Lynchburg did get 1 in the 7th. That tied the game. It was a 1-1 ball game, and actually both teams were shut out through the first 5. It was a real pitcher's duel, and on that note, we have to mention another great performance from Wesley Arrington. His postseason exploits continue. The Sheriff brought the handcuffs to the West Coast. Didn't strike out many hitters, Wes Arrington, just 2 punch-outs, but he was outstanding. He kept Verne basically in check. The Verne Leopards ended up getting 6 hits, and they walked 3 times, struck out 3 times. There was an inning at the end from Colin McGuire for Lynchburg to put the finishing touches on what was a very good victory, and as I said, a typical Lynchburg victory. They've been getting those late explosions this season. They got quite a few of those last year on the 2023 National Championship run. Had some outstanding individual performers. We'll try to run those down for you as today goes on. But now the situation becomes Lynchburg needs 1 win today to advance to another Division III World Series. It's in East Lake, Ohio, starting Friday. It actually comes around pretty quick. But Lynchburg, of course, did that last year in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This year's location is East Lake, Ohio, just outside Cleveland. So we'll be in Northeast Ohio. Again, if Lynchburg can win 1 out of 2 today, the Verne Leopards need to win both. It is a best 2 out of 3 series. There's some other games going on right now across the Division III landscape. The tournament started, the NCAA tournament started the day with 16 teams still in it. We'll be down to the final 8, the Elite 8, if you will, after today. And I believe some squads have already been eliminated, including the Christopher Newport captains. But we'll try to run down some scores if we can. I think this game is going to keep us plenty busy today. Lynchburg comes in at 34-15. As I said, 9 in a row. And those are 9 wins in postseason play. Nothing was assured for Lynchburg this year as far as an at-large regional bid, too, by the way, fans. You need to remember that. Lynchburg was the 4 seed going into the ODAC tournament. They were the 3 seed last week in the Cleveland Regional. So they defied some odds for sure when you want to look at it like that. They defied some of the computer projections and some of the expert projections. This team not interested in that at all. They're just interested in their own self-belief and their own positive vibes. The vibes train rolls on. That's been one of the themes that the guys have been talking about, and we'll talk about that as the day goes on. Lynchburg, by the way, has won 13 of 15, so it's been trending in the right direction for the better part of the second half of the season, and it's not as though Lynchburg was bad in the beginning of the season by any means. They were kind of paying the penalty of excellence. They had a big bullseye on their chest from last year. Lynchburg was getting everybody's best shot when they would come to Fox Field, and when they would go on the road, people were thinking, "Oh, we got a chance to knock off the Division III national champs." And some teams did that, but Lynchburg is playing their best baseball when it counts the most. Let's talk a little bit more about Verne. They are 30-15-1, 1 tie in there for the Leopards. Their postseason has been up and down. They're actually 4-4 in postseason, and a reminder, they took 3 in a row from Trinity of Texas. Laverne had to do that on the road to get to this spot. But overall, it has been a mixed bag lately for these Laverne Leopards. They are 5-6 in their last 11 ball games. The head coach is Scott Winterburn. The starter for Laverne today on the mound will be Gerald Terry. He went 8 innings strong against Trinity last week, only surrendered 3 hits, no earned runs. Here comes the leadoff man for Lynchburg. We're about to be underway here from Southern California. Much better day to play, at least to start anyway. We're about 5 or 6 degrees warmer than yesterday. None of that little light mist, and we've got some sunshine. Get a full view of the San Gabriel Mountains. Gerald Terry will fire a strike in there, and just like that, we are underway from the University of Laverne. It's Ben Hines Field. Lynchburg is in the clinching red, the Sunday red, the red tops with the black numbers, white trim, white pants for Lynchburg to go along with the black helmet, black hat, red trim. Brandon Garcia off the end of the bat, squirts one to the shortstop. He'll come up firing. A good play there by Ryan Vosica to record the first out of the ball game. So here comes Ben Jones. I'll continue the lineup for you, and there's the one change for Lynchburg, but it's an expected change. It's Ben Jones hitting second. Quinn Madden is on deck waiting to hit third for Lynchburg. Riley O'Donovan will catch here in this game and hit fourth. That's been the usual routine for Lynchburg. Pokerot catches game 1 or day 1, and then Riley O'Donovan catches game 2 or day 2. And it will be Nick Matfield starting for Lynchburg. Continuing the lineup here, following Riley O'Donovan in the 5-hole will be number 5, Eric Hyatt. Gavin Collins plays third and hits 6th. Joe Munitz, the first-year man and average leader for the squad, batting 7th. Eddie Gimbel playing left field and hitting 8th. And O'Kelly McWilliams, the 4th, will bat 9th and play center field. Gerald Terry is the starter. It's a 1-1 count to Ben Jones. The defense, we already told you about Ryan Vosica at short. Joining him on the left side, Aiden Salcido at third. Couple changes for Laverne. Jared Benash is the second baseman today. First baseman is Ryan Garcia again. It's a breaking ball that does catch the top edge of the zone, and it's a 1-2 count. In the outfield for Laverne, Logan Reese in right, made a diving play yesterday. Outstanding stuff. Jason Givens is the center fielder. Malachi Francois, the left fielder. You got a pinch hit at bat. So 2 changes in the starting lineup for Laverne. Here's the 1-2 to Jones. Inside, takes it, and it's an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Laverne is in the home white pinstripe look. They've got a green hat with the orange trim. It's kind of the Miami Hurricanes color scheme with green and orange for the Laverne Leopards. National champions in 72 and 95. So there's definitely some tradition here at this school in Southern California. They play in the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. And that is usually a very good league, very competitive in all sports, but specifically baseball. 2 teams from that conference still alive at the start of today's action, Laverne and Pomona Pitzer. Ben Jones will slash one foul past the first base coach Cameron Lane, so it's a 2-2 delivery with 1 out coming up again from Gerald Terry. He is a senior. His numbers this year are very, very good. He's 8-2 on the season. Gerald Terry has a 2.94 earned run average. Batters hitting just 187 off him, and against a starter, that's incredible. Ben Jones will get the 2-2 in play, bouncing it to the first baseman, Ryan Garcia. He'll step on the bag himself to record the second out of the top of the first inning. Lynchburg is the visitors in this one today. If there is an if necessary game 3, Lynchburg will be the home team again. They won the coin flip on day 1 to make that happen. Quinn Madden, hands held high, wide open stance, awaits the first delivery from Gerald Terry. That's an eye-line fastball, and it's a 1-0 count to Quinn Madden. Madden yesterday had 2 hits, struck out 1 time, grounded out to the second baseman a couple times, so officially a 2-for-5 day for Quinn Madden, who's the hits leader and the RBI leader. He'll swing on a second pitch breaking ball, lofting it into center field. Long run there, but the catch is made by Jason Givens, sprinting in from his deep center field spot. It's a quick inning, 3 up, 3 down for Gerald Terry, and the Laverne Leopards are coming to hit in the bottom of the first inning. We'll run down their lineup and the Lynchburg defense here in just a moment. When we return, you're watching a special Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network presentation, the LHSN Road Show from Laverne, California. Okay, baseball fans, Kyle Hoehne under the headset behind the microphone. We're outside the press box, though. We are in the top step of the bleachers. Fun to be out here amongst the people and the fans. It looks like Laverne's got a little better crowd here today, and maybe that makes sense with yesterday being a Friday, a work day. Now maybe a few more of the Laverne fans are able to make it out to the ballpark. Got a nice day to play, and it's a fun way to get a Memorial Day weekend cranked up. Starter for Lynchburg will be Nick Matfield. As expected, Matfield's been taking the ball in Game 2, or again, the second day of a series. This has been the routine for Lynchburg. Matfield on the season has been really good. 6-2, 3.82 earned run average. This will be start number 15 for Matfield. He's over 70 innings pitched this season, struck out 58, walked 24, surrendered 30 earned runs in those 70 2/3 innings. Here's the lineup. It'll be Benny Vogel, the DH, starting it off. Ryan Vosica, the shortstop. Logan Reese, the right fielder. Cleanup man will be the first baseman Ryan Garcia. Catcher Nathan Perry hitting 5th. Jason Givens, 6th. Aiden Salcido, the third baseman, 7th. And then here's the two changes for Laverne. Malachi Francois batting 8th. He's in left field, a junior from Alameda, California. And then Jarrett Benash playing second base today. It was Anthony Salcido, the brother of Aiden, who was playing second base yesterday. Strike one for Nick Matfield. He gets a 3/4 arm slot fastball across the outside corner of the plate. Matfield pitching from the stretch the whole time. This one fouled away by Benny Vogel, and it's an early 0-2 count for Matfield. Defense looks pretty similar for Lynchburg. Eric Hyatt at first, Ben Jones at second, Brandon Garcia shortstop, Gavin Collins at third. In the outfield, Eddie Gimbel in left, O'Kelly McWilliams the fourth in center, Quinn Madden in right. Outfield is played the opposite way on Benny Vogel. Here comes the 0-2 from Matfield. Breaking ball down in the zone, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Laverne 30, 15, and 1, but 4-4 in postseason play. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. That was nasty. Really handcuffed Vogel. Great pitch, and a good job by Riley O'Donovan to stop that and then bounce out and throw down to first. Should have mentioned Riley O'Donovan as the second half of the battery package there. He's been catching Nick Matfield all year. I think O'Donovan's defense has been getting better and better all year, much like Sean Pokerock. You think about Lynchburg, you lose Holden Fiedler, who was an outstanding defensive catcher from last year's team. And Fiedler, a great hitter as well. Some people forget Holden Fiedler had a couple 3-hit games up there in Cedar Rapids. He had 3 hits against Wisconsin lacrosse to open up the national championship. Then he had 3 hits in Game 3 against Johns Hopkins when Lynchburg clinched the national title. But you lose a lot with Holden Fiedler. And yes, both Pokerock and O'Donovan did some catching last year, but now I think they've just continued to improve as the signal callers, working with the pitchers. 1-1 count here on Ryan Vosica, sophomore from Corona, California. Chopper up the middle. Ben Jones is going to have to scramble to the bag. Can't get there. He and Brandon Garcia kind of crossed over in front. O'Kelly McWilliams will field in center field, and then he was going to sprint to second base to make sure Ryan Vosica didn't take a turn and run for 2. There's your first hit of the ball game. Ryan Vosica with a chopper up the middle. Neither team did much in the extra base category yesterday. Brandon Garcia had a double for Lynchburg. That was in the 7th inning, where Lynchburg equalized with 1 lone run. Other than that, the hits were singles. Lynchburg just 6 hits total. It's a few of those tweeners. Was it a hit? Was it an error? Laverne had 3 errors as a ball club. So always interesting when you're trying to make that call as an official score, and then all the fans and broadcasters can then criticize and say, oh, well, I would have called it a hit. I would have called it an error. But just part of the fun in a ball game. I don't know that Lynchburg was completely thrilled with their hitting approach, but you have to give some credit to the Laverne pitchers. And it'll be a tough assignment today for Lynchburg hitters with Gerald Terry. And the Laverne Leopards are in for a tough assignment with this man, Nick Matfield. He holds an 0-1 on the way. Sweeping slider, called strike 2. Matfield looks to be attacking the zone early. All indications are good here for the senior, who was a first-team All-ODAC performer 2 years ago, made 5 starts last year before being limited by injury. I think he's been getting back to that form that ODAC Rookie of the Year and first-team form that he showed a couple seasons ago. I think Nick Matfield is right there. And on any given day, I think he might even be better than that, just based on what he's got going. He'll throw a fastball in the dirt, and that is ball one. It's a 1-2 count on Logan Reese, number 41, junior right fielder. Highlight reel grab on the right field line yesterday. Some videos floating around of that. Really good play. It was in a big spot, too. And, you know, these super regional playoff games, heck, they're all big, aren't they? You never know which pitch is going to be the game-changing pitch. You never know which play is going to change a game. Eddie Gimbel, Lynchburg's left fielder, had a couple game-changing catches in the regional action against Case Western Reserve. Sweeping slider inside. Reese got a lot of that. Gimbel going back to the track. Wall, that's gone. There's Laverne's first extra base hit of the weekend. That's going to give them a lift. It's a 2-run home run to left field for Logan Reese. That was a 1-2 slider that Logan Reese just ran his barrel into. And Laverne with a 2-0 lead. Not their first lead of the series. Leopards went up 1-0 for an inning yesterday. But now a 2-0 advantage. Nick Matfield not easily rattled. He won't like that, but Nick Matfield not easily rattled. See how he comes back against Ryan Garcia. That's a fastball for a called strike. Good job by Matfield to bounce back, as expected, but still, you got to execute it. Got the Laverne crowd to their feet. And really, you know, it's the first time in the series that I would say, you know, maybe playing at home does give Laverne a little home field advantage. Lynchburg typically playing on the road, not a problem. Hasn't been a problem all season. They've been doing that in the postseason, of course. But what you have to say, the Leopards maybe with a little something there as far as the home crowd and the home field advantage. Lynchburg in neutral site games this year is 8-2. They're 11-6 in away games. Lynchburg was 15-7 at Fox Field this season. They are 34-15 as a unit this year. It's a 2-2 count on Ryan Garcia, as Matfield has been using his array of breaking balls and other assorted pitches to get some strikes. Here comes the 2-2. Right-hander deals, breaking ball, strike three. Swung on and missed there from Ryan Garcia. Really great pitch for Matfield. He's got two punch-outs early, Nick Matfield, but he surrendered two base hits, including the big fly to Logan Reese. Sophomore catcher Nathan Perry hits fifth and steps in with 2 outs, bases clear. It's an overcast day, but there is some sun trying to fight through. We've got a breeze that appears to be blowing out to right field. We had that yesterday, even though, again, neither team was really able to get the ball elevated. Logan Reese has changed that, getting one over the left field wall. Perry's a right-handed hitter, swings at an 0-1, fouls it straight down, and now the count is no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. So you have to say it is a good bounce back for Nick Matfield after the home run. So far, anyway. Inning is not over just yet. Matfield is set. 0-2 delivery on the way. Looks over his front left shoulder and fires. Ooh, spiked that one in the ground well short of home plate. Riley O'Donovan ended up blocking that with his right shoulder. He'll toss that one back to the umpire as the ump threw Nick Matfield a new baseball. Defense is straight away. Outfield medium deep. Infield in the traditional configuration that you would expect. Matfield, senior, ready. Here comes the 1-2. Inside, and he got him. Matfield records all the outs with the strikeouts, but Laverne gets on the board. A 2-run home run from Logan Reese, and the Leopards lead 2-0 after 1 complete in Super Regional Game 2. Laverne gets on the board. 2 runs on 2 hits, none left on. It was Logan Reese's 2-run home run. Looked like he just got the barrel into a 1-2 slider from Nick Matfield and scraped it over the left field wall. Dimensions here at Laverne are fairly spacious, 410 to dead center. Down the lines, it looks to be 327. Power alley in right center field is 372. Left center gap is 388. We are at Ben Hines Field in Laverne, California. Talking a little bit about the area yesterday. This is known as the Inland Empire. And sometimes the folks that live around here and other people in SoCal will just shorten that to the IE and a few other little names as well. Kind of the border, outer edges of Los Angeles County. Got the San Gabriel Mountains to our north. It's a great, great place to watch a ball game here at Ben Hines Field. 0-1 breaking ball is a called strike to Riley O'Donovan. The catcher is the cleanup man today for Lynchburg. Sean Pokerock hit in this spot yesterday and did the catching. Sean Pokerock will be available to both catch and be a pinch hitter in this one. Got some other reinforcements off the bench that you may expect to see. That includes Josh Jorman potentially, and also Ethan Morotsky went in yesterday. Called strike 2 on a 1-1 breaking ball. And we're getting to learn more about Gerald Terry just unfolding right before our eyes. You're seeing why his numbers are so good. Batters hitting under 200 against this starter from Laverne. Here comes the 1-2. Oh, Riley O'Donovan's got a base hit, spinning on an inside pitch and blasting it into left field. Lynchburg's got their first hit of the ball game. That was well struck. That had the high exit velocity you're looking for as a hitter. Good piece right there from Riley O'Donovan. The catcher is aboard with nobody out in the top of the second inning. Lynchburg does trail 2-0. Here comes Eric Hyatt. Got an on-base streak right now of 13 or 14 games. I know we had some folks from the Hyatt family tuned in yesterday, giving us a listen. Got to get a few more shout-outs going on. The roll call yesterday included Julie Pond and Angel Collazo, former Lynchburg great and a national champion, Angel Collazo, tuning in. Bill Gerke and the fam were on, Heather Richmond, a few others as well, and we'd love to name drop a few more. Fastball upstairs is ball 1 to Eric Hyatt. Could be a sacrifice bunt situation. Hyatt not bunting there. He'll watch a steep breaking ball come in for a called strike. But yeah, Hyatt with an on-base streak that's in the double digits, I think 13 right now. I believe Lynchburg's longest hitting streak is just at 2 games. There's a couple guys that have 2-game hitting streaks. That tells you what this team has been doing as a unit. It's not been any one guy each game. Different heroes each time. Who's going to be the hero today? Maybe Eric Hyatt, as he shoots one up the middle. It caromed off the mound and kind of jumped up and gave the middle infielders a chance, but ended up reaching the outfield for a back-to-back base knock parade there. First Riley O'Donovan, and then Eric Hyatt, and here comes Gavin Collins. Gavin Collins had a scary moment where he's hit in the head yesterday, came out briefly to get checked out by the athletic training staff. Dane Bauer has made the trip out with us from the University of Lynchburg. Gavin was given the all clear to return, made some great defensive plays as usual. Lynchburg had 2 double plays yesterday that were both key. Here comes the first pitch in the dirt. Collins lays off, and it's a 1-0 count. Gavin Collins' defense was wowing folks at Capital One Park in Tyson's Corner during the Old Dominion Athletic Conference tournament. Gavin Collins' defense has wowed us his entire career. I always say you just won't find anybody better throwing on the run. And he made a few of those run-throughs and run snap throws and got all the arm angles. He's like those great quarterbacks that throw on the run. Can do it all. Gavin Collins is a banger, too. He's a hitter, 198 base hits in his career. So Gavin Collins is approaching that double century mark. It would be very, very fitting for him to get 200 on this trip out here in California. But work to be done. Got to win the ball game as well. All the individual accolades are secondary. There's a short mound meeting there for us to run down some things we love about Gavin Collins. That was the head coach, Scott Winterburn, that went out to talk to Gerald Terry and perhaps review a potential bunt defense here for Laverne. There is nobody out. Runners on first and second. for Lynchburg. It's a 1-0 count. Gavin Collins awaits the pitch. Another breaking ball. This one a called strike at the bottom of the zone. And now it's a 1-1 count. Collins, the senior from Clifton, Virginia, Northern Virginia. O'Donovan at second, Hyatt at first. First baseman playing in front of Eric Hyatt on the grass and well off the line. Third baseman even with the bag on the left side. The 1-1 from Terry. Collins likes it. Airborne, this ball is going to be foul, but the first baseman, Ryan Garcia, will make a pretty easy grab with plenty of foul territory here at Ben Hines Field. So there's one out as Gavin Collins pops up. That'll bring up Joe Munitz. Joe Munitz coming into the tournament was the average leader for this Lynchburg team. First-year man from Frank W. Cox High School in the Tidewater area of the state of Virginia. Joe Munitz came into the weekend hitting .358. That was 38 hits on 106 at-bats for Joe Munitz. This one's in the dirt. Runners are going to take off. O'Donovan will get there safely. Hyatt does the same. Riley O'Donovan's now 90 feet away, and Lynchburg has the tying run in scoring position in the form of Eric Hyatt. It's a 1-0 count to Joe Munitz. Munitz yesterday, no hits, but he took 2 walks, including a key walk in that big 8th inning where Lynchburg scored 6 runs. All those came with 2 outs. Munitz did score 1 run in the 8th. Here's the 1-0. Munitz will watch the breaking ball, pepper the catcher's mitt for strike 1. Heavy dose of breaking balls for Gerald Terry. And without seeing the guy in the regular season, it's hard to know if that's the usual thing or if that's a change in game plan to try to attack the Lynchburg hitters in a different way. Terry looks in. Now he'll come set, arms extended slightly. Here's the 1-1. Munitz swings through. Catcher mishandled briefly, but nowhere for the runners to go. And now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 1 out in the top of the 2nd inning. Lynchburg trails 2-0. They went 3 up, 3 down in the first, but back-to-back singles from O'Donovan and Hyatt have them in business in the top of the 2nd. Terry reading the signals again from the catcher. The catcher is Nathan Perry. Here comes the 1-2. Ball's in the dirt. Good stop by Perry. It is a deep backstop here at Ben Hines Field in Laverne. So any pass ball that goes all the way back would probably score pretty much any base runner for these 2 teams anyway. Munitz awaits a 1-2. 1 batting glove on the right hand for this left-handed hitter. Bangs one into center field. Joe Munitz will score 1. Hyatt's getting the stop sign at third. Munitz will round first and then retreat back, clapping his hands at a fist pump. Lynchburg is on the board for the first time here in Game 2 of the Super Regional. It's Game 1 of a possible 2 today. Laverne needs to win this one to force the if necessary game. 3 hits in the inning for Lynchburg. 3 singles, 2 went up the middle. Riley O'Donovan pulled his. It looks like Lynchburg hitters are starting to get a better read on what Gerald Terry has on offer.
Go, Eddie, stay hot, kid.
And here comes Eddie Gimble, a senior, a career hard worker for Lynchburg. And now the hard work is paying off. Gimble, push bunt to the right side. Hyatt will score. They'll tag out Eddie Gimble, but the game is tied. Successfully executed safety squeeze play there for Lynchburg. Little small ball for the Hornets in the top of the 2nd inning has tied the ball game up. Great call there by the Lynchburg coaching staff to really dial up a play. Baseball, I always say, is one of those sports where there's not a ton of plays you can call, but first to third, that safety squeeze play is a great one. The runner at third can read the bunt. If the bunt is down in the area that he's looking for, he just scampers home. Gimble ended up getting tagged out by the first baseman, but that was outstanding use of the bunt there for Lynchburg in the small ball. 0-1 count to O'Kelly McWilliams IV. He hits with 2 outs and a runner on second. That's Joe Munitz. It is now a tie ball game, 2-2. Lynchburg answers pretty quickly. O'Kelly McWilliams shoots one to right. Right fielder coming on. A little stumbling grab from Logan Reese. That saved a run as he snatches that one out of the sky right before it hits the green grass. But Lynchburg has scored. We've got ourselves a 2-2 ball game. 2 runs on 3 hits. They get 1 key sacrifice bunt there from Eddie Gimble, and 1 runner was left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. Leopards will send up 6, 7, 8 in their lineup when we return on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. All right, Kyle Hoehne sitting around with my producer and director for the weekend. That's Sam Rice. So nice. You do have to say it twice, Sam Rice. And he won't give himself any credit, but a lot of that stuff you're seeing on social media, fans, is the product of the genius of this man sitting to my right, Sam Rice. Got to throw some props out there to our great friend Caroline Gerke, behind the camera, working the lenses. And the sun's coming out, so I believe Miss Gerke will be happy with that. She prefers to shoot in the sunlight. There's a called strike one from Nick Matfield as he nails the outer third of the zone. It's a 2-2 ball game, and there you go. I've been saying typical Lynchburg fashion a lot this weekend. That's another one. Lynchburg seems to answer the runs when the other team scores at a really high rate. Not 100%, but so often when Lynchburg's opposition will score some run, the Hornets somehow find a way to turn around and score some of their own. In this case, they do just that. A 2-run home run from Logan Reese in the bottom of the first. Lynchburg strings together 3 hits in the top of the second inning. They use a key safety squeeze bunt from Eddie Gimble and end up tying this game all locked up at the deuces here. 2-2 in the bottom of the second. It's a 1-2 delivery coming up to Jason Givens. Junior center fielder waits on it from Matfield. Wow, just off the plate. Matfield loved that one. You could tell he got the release he wanted, but that is a ball. It's another pitch that falls in the awfully close category. Still trying to get the read on the umpires and the zone. That's not only the broadcasters, but the players as well. That one well wide from Nick Matfield. Easier call for the ump, easier hold from Jason Givens, and we've got a full count. Lynchburg defense straight away with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Matfield lifts the leg, fires, went inside, and it's a called strike 3. Matfield's got all 4 of the outs so far via the K. Now that was a strikeout looking there. Matfield kept going away. It was soft. It was off speed. So when he went inside with a hard heater on the full count, I think Givens was basically helpless at that point. That is a great pitching plan of attack. That's what I talked about yesterday with Michael Solbach and Travis Beasley. When they're calling the pitches, they can really mess with a hitter's mind. Hitting is hard enough anyway. You could set the hitting machine up and have it throw balls right down the middle over and over, and that's still going to be tough. But then when you change locations, change speeds, you work some different combos, all of a sudden it can become downright impossible. There's 2 really close misses from Nick Matfield. 2 pitches I think, again, he should feel really good about. But it's a 2-0 count to sophomore Aiden Salcido. Third baseman for the Verne Leopards hits without batting gloves, has the arm sleeve on the right arm. He'll watch this one come in just above the knee. Middle pitch there, and it's called strike 1. 2-1 count. Aiden Salcido hits .274 coming into the weekend. Interestingly enough, his brother Anthony Salcido had the exact same batting average, but different ways to get there. Fun with math. Ground ball, tapper back to Nick Matfield. Underhand toss as he sprints in the direction of Eric Hyatt, the first baseman. Hyatt receives, and it's the second out of the inning. 2 down in the bottom of the second. And we'll make the statistical note that it's the first out that Lynchburg has recorded in the field, although Nick Matfield had a hand in that one with the old 1-3 in the box score there. There's 4 strikeouts up to that point, and Nick Matfield had struck out 3 in a row, dating back to the last 2 outs of the first inning. Over the top breaking ball, that's ball 1. Remember, Matfield gives you multiple arm angles all the time, and it's not just a gimmick. It's not just something he'll do to have fun or change it up. I mean, that's his game. It's the traditional over the top, then it becomes the 3/4, a little low 3/4, and every now and then he'll drop down to a true sidearm. He does seem to have multiple pitches from each arm slot. The 1-1 swung on and missed by Malachi Francois. Now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Francois had a pitch hit appearance yesterday. He struck out looking. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Matfield has struck out 5. Nick Matfield is rolling. Did surrender the 2-run home run, but other than that, Nick Matfield in complete command early. We've got a tie ball game, 2-2 as we move to the top of the third inning at Ben Hines Field in Laverne, California. Top three at Ben Hines Field in California, Southern California. We are about an hour or so east of what you might consider Los Angeles proper, although we are still in Los Angeles County. It's a big county right next door at the Fairplex. They've got the Los Angeles County Fair, which my friend Jack Husted told me is billed as the world's largest county fair. But then yesterday he was like, I don't know if I heard that accurately. You told your listeners that. I want to make sure it's accurate. So we were scrambling to try to find the information. I think that was more of a marketing slogan from the Los Angeles County Fair rather than anything that was exactly scientific. But I'll tell you, it is a big event over there at the Fairplex next door. Here's Brandon Garcia leading off the top of the third inning for Lynchburg. Grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat. Garcia had a big day yesterday. Hollywood was lights, camera, action, as he so often is. A double in the seventh inning. Then he came around to score on a Ben Jones infield single that the Laverne defense slightly misplayed. And then Brandon Garcia with a walk in that eighth inning where Lynchburg really blew the doors wide open with the 6-run spot. Lynchburg ends up winning the game 7-1 over the Laverne Leopards. It's a 1-1 count on Brandon Garcia. Sun trying to fight its way out again here in Southern California. Here's the pitch from Terry. Outside corner for strike two. It's a 1-2 count with Ben Jones waiting on deck. But yeah, good little post-game interview with Brandon Garcia. He was in high spirits, and you can still find that on the Lynchburg social media destinations, which we encourage you to check out and frequent. Here's the 1-2 from the righty Terry. Garcia pulls that to the right side. Long run by the second baseman. Good little snap throw play there from Jared Banash, who was not the starting second baseman yesterday, but moving to his glove side. Good footwork and a good throw against his body to retire Brandon Garcia for the first out of the third inning. Lynchburg, the visitors, they are in their red. They always back themselves in any uniform, but those red tops have a special mystique and cachet for the Lynchburg baseball team. The clinching record for Lynchburg is very good in the red. It's white pants today for the Hornets Ball Club. Laverne is in their home white-on-white pinstripe with green numbers, orange trim to go along with a green hat. 1-0 count as Terry will pitch from the windup to Ben Jones. This one is inside and called a strike. And our count is now even at 1-1 strike. Got some scores for you from the rest of the Division III baseball postseason. Run those down for you. Maybe we'll keep it here in between innings or in the half-inning break. Hang on to that thought as Ben Jones rips one down the right field line. It's turn and burn time. Jones is around first, cruising into second base with a stand-up double. There's the explosive nature of Benny Bombs. A double. It's Lynchburg's first extra base hit of the day. Brandon Garcia had the one double yesterday. How about Lynchburg now with 4 base hits? Quinn Madden coming up for his second at bat. An RBI machine. Quinn Madden is the team leader in runners driven in this year with 64. Lynchburg has scored 358 runs as a team. Madden swipes at the first, and it is an 0-1 count. Let's run down that scoring here real quick. For Lynchburg, I'm actually wrong. Factoring yesterday, it's now 402 runs as a team, and that's through 49 games. This is game 50 for Lynchburg here today. So we go 402 divided by 49. That's 8.2 runs per game. 8.2 runs per game. That's higher than last year with that incredibly potent offense last season. This offense just as potent, and in some ways maybe more so. 1-1 count coming up. Terry pitches to Madden. Foul ball to the right side off the high netting here at Ben Hines Field. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 1 out. Ben Jones on second base after the stand-up double. Jones with good speed will be a threat to score on any base hit. And almost you could say any batted ball. Ben Jones, by the way, is 13 of 16 in the stolen base department. He might be a threat to take off here with 1 out. Outside corner missed, and now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So yeah, 402 factoring in yesterday's games. 402 runs for Lynchburg offensively. 1 or 2 more right here would give the Hornets their first lead of this game. We're knotted up at 2. Top of the third. Here comes a 2-2. Madden hard. That ball stung at the second baseman. Ate him up. But Nash was able to just stick with that one and then throw out Quinn Madden at first. That ball was rifled off the bat of Quinn Madden. I'm going to give Jared Banash high marks for sticking with that one. That's the worst one as an infielder. If you talk to infielders, they'll tell you it's not so much the diving plays and the run-throughs that keep you up at night. It's a line drive right at you that you don't know if it's going to be a 1-hopper, a 2-hopper. You just don't know. And that was one of those cases with Banash there. He really did nicely to hang tough on that. Here's Riley O'Donovan. He's 1 for 1 on the day. A leadoff single in that 2-run second inning. He's back up here in the top of the third. O'Donovan hitting with Ben Jones 90 feet away at third base. There's 2 outs. Top rail fastball creates an 0-1 count. Gerald Terry taking a little while to get the signs. Now he's set and ready. Holds, pitches. O'Donovan swings at another high heater, and it's an 0-2 count. Looks like Gerald Terry's executing a game plan. Laverne coaching staff and catcher want him to keep the ball at the top of the zone. He did it on the first 2. Let's see what Riley O'Donovan can do. Might need to make an adjustment, or maybe he can get a mistake pitch from Terry. Jones leads off at third. 2 outs in the top of the third. Swing and a miss. He got him. Nasty sequence there from Gerald Terry. Went with a breaking ball outside. Riley O'Donovan couldn't lay off and could not connect. So Lynchburg does threaten with the Ben Jones double, but he is left stranded. We're still tied 2-2 as we move to the bottom of the third. Some scores here, some scores. We started the day with 16 teams still in it. And the breakdown on that was the winners yesterday were, of course, Lynchburg. Randolph-Macon, they had a walk-off 6-5 victory against Adrian. Pomona-Pitzer, who is in the same conference with Laverne. They're conference rivals and proximity rivals as well. We're not too far from Pomona here in Laverne. But Pomona-Pitzer beat ETBU yesterday 6-4. And Lynchburg fans would be familiar with East Texas Baptist. Endicott beat Johns Hopkins yesterday. Misericordia beat CNU yesterday and then again today. So the captains from CNU have been eliminated. Salve Regina is up 1-0 in the series against Salisbury. Birmingham Southern has advanced already. They beat Denison 10-1 yesterday and 7-6 today. So the storybook ride for Birmingham Southern will continue for at least 2 more games. And if you don't know that story, Birmingham Southern is a school that will be closing. And in fact, I think they will be officially closed when Birmingham Southern is playing in the D3 World Series next week in East Lake, Ohio. Worth noting also, that's a team that Lynchburg has beaten this year. Lynchburg has gotten wins this season over Birmingham Southern, also Salisbury, and of course Randolph-Macon. At day's beginning, Lynchburg was 3-5 against teams that were still alive in the tournament. So some other scores. It looks like Endicott has won again today. So Johns Hopkins has been eliminated. That was the team Lynchburg had to eliminate. Hornets won 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays from Baltimore in the National Championship, the final series last season. But Johns Hopkins will not be making a return trip to the World Series. Endicott will. They were there last year as well. Endicott is 46-2 on the year. Nick Matfield's got an 0-1 start as we are underway here in the bottom of the sixth. Now it's 0-2 as Nick Matfield twirls a great breaking ball in there to Jared Benash. The second baseman had a couple good plays in that third inning to limit the damage. They're actually not allow any damage in the third. It's a 2-2 ball game. Lynchburg scored their 2 in the second. Running down these scores again, Misericordia has eliminated Christopher Newport. So it's 2-game sweeps there for the first 3 teams we mentioned, Birmingham Southern, Endicott, and Misericordia. They have all advanced, going 2-0. This one sprayed to the right side, past the diving Eric Hyatt at first base. Good effort right there. Good piece of 2-strike hitting for Laverne. That was a theme yesterday. Laverne Leopards really have a tough 2-strike approach. They will put balls in play. They will shorten up. They will throw the hands. They do not strike out much. Nick Matfield struck out 5 already. Yesterday, Laverne did not strike out much. Continuing some scores here with a runner on first. This is dangerous. Salve Regina has eliminated Salisbury. Sacrifice bunt. Matfield will come down the slope. He'll field and throw to first for the out. Successfully executed there by Benny Vogel. Moves the runner up to second base. Good job by Matfield to get involved in another out. Matfield has 5 strikeouts, and then there's 2 1-3 putouts on the scoreboard. So Nick Matfield has had a factor in every out thus far in the game from a Lynchburg defensive perspective. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Vosica. Strike 1 as Matfield another first pitch breaking ball. Adrian did beat Randolph Macon 5-4, so that will be going to the if necessary game 3. Pomona Pitzer looks to be up in the 9th inning against ETBU, so they are threatening to send East Texas Baptist home a little earlier than they wanted. Wisconsin Whitewater is up 8-0. No, they beat Wisconsin La Crosse 8-0. So a lot of those names, that's going to the if necessary game, by the way. That if necessary game is just getting started between the 2 Wisconsin rivals. But a lot of these teams and a lot of these names are ball clubs that have had postseason success lately and in their entire history. And you got a few up-and-comers in the mix as well. 0-2 count on Ryan Vosica. The sophomore took a high fastball for a called strike. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Got the first hit off Nick Matfield, then scored on the 2-run home run. Matfield will spin and throw to second. Close play there, as Ben Jones will hustle the ball back to Nick Matfield. Logan Reese had the 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning for Laverne. He waits on deck. Matfield is set, hands just above the waist, checks the runner at second. Now a slow head turn back to the target at home. That ball's off the plate by design, and now it's a 1-2 count on Ryan Vosica. Sophomore from Corona, California, came in as the average leader on the squad, hitting .388. This is start number 43 of the season for Vosica. It's game number 47 for Laverne, game 50 for Lynchburg. Matfield holding. Now he'll spin and throw to second. Belt-high throw to Ben Jones, and Jones will again give it right back to Nick Matfield. Didn't even really threaten to apply the tag there. As Vosica waits on the 1-2. Matfield checking the wrist communication device. Longer look right there. It seems to have the pitch that he wants. Another check of the runner. Here comes the 1-2. Sweeping slider, and he got Ryan Vosica striking out. Wow, Nick Matfield. That's 6 punch-outs. You know, when you look at the Lynchburg pitchers, Nick Matfield does not have the highest strikeout rate, the highest K per 9, any other metric you want to use to look at it. But he has got it going right now. And sometimes the matchup against a particular team makes a big difference. Nick Matfield seems to have a matchup he likes. Facing the guy that took him yard in his first at-bat, though, Logan Reese is up waiting for the first pitch. Here it comes. Sweeping slider off the plate, ball 1. So now for Lynchburg, you can, with the first base open, know that, hey, we don't have to give Logan Reese anything to hit. We can nibble around the edges. We don't have to go down the middle. We don't have to go even over the plate if we don't want to, although Matfield does it right there with a 12-6 curveball. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Jared Benash, the second baseman, is at second. Benash had the third hit of the ball game for Laverne. This man, Logan Reese, had the big hit, the 2-run home run in the first. He waits on a 1-1. There it is. Called strike just above the knee. So Lynchburg not pitching around Logan Reese. Logan Reese did well to lay off that first pitch slider, but right now he's in a 1-2 hole. Let's see what Matfield goes with here. Seems to have been all breaking balls so far, at least from my eye test. Matfield is set. Here's the pitch. And Reese will foul it straight back. Love that diving catch from Logan Reese yesterday. He's hitting in the 3 hole for Laverne, so you're thinking he's just more of a banger. He's a hitter. We're going to just plug him out there in right field. Hope they don't hit many balls at him, but he proved that's not the case. He's a capable defender, much like Lynchburg's right fielder and 3-hole hitter, Quinn Madden. Matfield taking some time. Ball behind his back. Now he'll join the hands together. Here comes another 1-2. He got Reese to pop up. This ball is in foul territory. Gavin Collins, the third baseman, calling for it and catching it. That's how the inning will end. 1 base hit for Laverne, but 1 left stranded. No Lynchburg errors. And we're still tied 2-2 through 3 complete in Game 2 of Super Regional action here in Laverne, California. Let's bring it back quick here, baseball fans, as we get set for the top of the 4th inning. Let me run down that out-of-town scoreboard again here. I think it was a little bit sloppy. Let's try again. All these teams have advanced to the Division III College World Series, the national championship. It'll be Birmingham Southern. They have punched a ticket, which is a great term, because do tickets even get punched anymore on the train or the plane? Who knows? But Birmingham Southern has locked up a spot in the national championship next week. So has Endicott. So has Misericordia. So has Salve Regina. And then you go to the teams that have got to go to the if necessary game, the Game 3. That's Adrian and Randolph-Macon. That is Wisconsin Whitewater and Wisconsin Lacrosse. Those if necessary Game 3s are underway. It looks like Pomona-Pitzer is still in the 9th inning against ETBU. East Texas Baptist will need a comeback to avoid being eliminated. And Pomona-Pitzer, a conference rival of this Laverne squad, looks to book their spot and get a California team in Northeast Ohio next week. And that starts Friday, by the way. Rolls around pretty quick. 0-1 count to Eric Hyatt, who singled in his first at-bat. Gerald Terry, the starter, still out there for Laverne. This ball chopped to the shortstop, mishandled there, still has a chance. High throw, but the first baseman, Ryan Garcia, stayed on the bag. That was the shortstop, Ryan Vosica, that got to that ball pretty quickly, but then it just popped out of the leather. He scrambled, picked it up, threw. It was a high throw, but Ryan Garcia using the range over there at first base to help retire Eric Hyatt for the first out of the 3rd inning. Lynchburg, through the first 3 innings, has 2 runs on 4 hits. They've left 2 on, 2 in scoring position. Laverne is 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 left in scoring position. Gavin Collins lifts a first pitch breaking ball to shallow right center field. and the center fielder, Jason Givens, will cruise over and snatch that out of the sky for the second out of the inning. So that's a one-pitch, one-out situation there for Gavin Collins. Hyatt swung at the second pitch. So at the moment, it's a three-pitch inning working for Gerald Terry, the starter for Laverne. Let's see if Joe Munitz has got a take sign on or not. This ball was on the outer edge. Munitz might have laid off of that anyway. That may not have been situational at all. But now Joe Munitz hitting with an 0-1 count. Infield has Munitz played slightly to pull. He went up the middle for an RBI single in his first at bat. Here's an off-speed pitch that was never close, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield normal depth straight away. Eddie Gimbel waits on deck for Lynchburg. There's 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. It's a 2-2 ball game. The 1-1 to Munitz is a called strike, and now he'll hit with a 1-2 count. Laverne's got 4, 5, 6 coming up in their half of the 4th. That's Garcia, Perry, and Givens, all strikeout victims from Nick Matfield. Matfield has K'd 6. Here's the pitch from Terry. Ooh, that was a close one again, but off the plate for ball 2. Good plate awareness by Joe Munitz. But now we've got one of those deuces wild situations here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a 2-2 game. We are in the top of the 4th inning, though. Terry taking some time out of the windup. Now he'll spin and fire. Munitz sprays this one to left field. Long run there, but the catch is made in left by Malachi Francois. He'll jog into the dugout. It's a 3-up, 3-down. Quick inning for Gerald Terry and the Laverne Leopards. They look to break the tie as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Game 2 of Super Regional action between Lynchburg and Laverne. We return to Ben Hines Field in Southern California. It's a tie ball game, 2-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. A change for Lynchburg defensively and in the batting order. It's Josh Jorman that will take over at first base for Eric Hyatt. Hyatt's day finishes at 1 for 2. This is the move that we have been seeing lately. And Josh Jorman has been a postseason hero. 5 for 9 in his last 5. There's a walk mixed in there as well. And Josh Jorman was a part of that key 8th inning yesterday for Lynchburg. 2 hits in the game yesterday. Jorman scored 1 time. Finished at 2 for 3. Did fly out in the top of the 9th. But Eric Hyatt, who's had postseason heroics that are well documented, RBI leader last year in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in those games in the national championship. This has been the move that Lynchburg has been going to recently. Couple at bats for Hyatt, then Jorman comes in. And each guy brings a little something slightly different to the table. 2-1 count here as Nick Matfield's pitching to Ryan Garcia. Swing and a miss from the left-hander Garcia. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gavin Collins, third baseman, way off the line. Brandon Garcia shaded up the middle. Now slides slightly back to a normal shortstop position. And Matfield ready with the 2-2, well off the plate. The count is full. Nathan Perry waits on deck. Also has struck out against Nick Matfield, who has 6, 3 in a row at one point. And it's the 3 hitters that are due up, Garcia, Perry, and Givens. Garcia waits, full count. Slash to shortstop, but it's Gavin Collins that fields and throws across. The defensive alignment for Lynchburg works. They had the lefty, Ryan Garcia, played to pull. That meant Gavin Collins was basically in the normal hole between third and short. He ends up ranging over to his glove side and fielding a ball, which is normally where the shortstop would be. Gavin Collins makes an accurate throw for the first out of the inning. First out of the bottom of the fourth inning. Laverne is the home team today. Breaking ball for a strike. Nice one from Nick Matfield. Nathan Perry 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this game. He's a sophomore catcher from Irvine. Defense straight away this time. That slider went under the zone, and now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Lynchburg so good with the pitching plan, just as far as what to call, where to throw it, but also equally elite in the defensive positioning. Yes, that's an educated guess. Sometimes you play a guy to pull, and he'll shoot one backside on you. Holes are available for hitters. But Lynchburg does a nice job, and as good of a job as anybody, of closing the windows out there. 2-1. This is off the end of the bat by Nathan Perry and foul. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Nick Matfield, the senior, gets back on the slab there. He's set and ready. Left leg lifts, right arm throws. This ball is sent skyward. Quinn Madden sees that. He's under it. Easy grab for out number 2 of the bottom of the fourth inning. It brings up Jason Givens, a junior center fielder from Santa Fe Springs, California. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this game. On the season, Givens came in hitting .363. You know, this lineup for Laverne is really impressive on paper. 6 full-timers that hit over 300 for Laverne. 6 guys that have, it looks like 33 starts or more that hit over 300. Bouncing ball right side. Ben Jones will take a high hop, sidearm toss, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for Nick Matfield and the Lynchburg Hornets. And we're still knotted up at 2 apiece as we move to the top of the 5th inning in Game 2 of Super Regional action. Gerald Terry, the starter for Laverne, finishing up the warm-up tosses as we get set to begin the 5th inning. Eddie Gimble, O'Kelly McWilliams, and then back to the top of the order with Brandon Garcia due up. Both teams went 3 up, 3 down in the 4th inning. So a quiet one there as Gerald Terry got a little bit of a funky delivery, a little unorthodox, you might say, for Gerald Terry. Kind of throws the glove at you. He's a senior from Laverne, so a local guy playing at the hometown university. Pitches from the windup with nobody on. It's a little bit of a hesitation as he lifts his left leg, and then he kind of hesitates and holds it in the sky just a little bit longer than you might think. He's a 3rd-team All-American last year And he was the pitcher of the year, the conference pitcher of the year in the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. So he's a proven campaigner, a seasoned veteran. Last season it was 11-5 with a 2.50 earned run average for this guy. Gerald Terry, as Eddie Gimble sprays one foul. It'll be a 1-2 count for Gimble to work with. This year for Terry, numbers really still pretty good. 8-2, the 2.94 Ernie. 2 complete games in there, 1 complete game shutout. This is start number 13. He made 16 starts last year, went over 100 innings. The 1-2 on the way from Terry, low for ball 2. He struck out 124 batters last season. So the strikeout numbers are down slightly, but the batting average against is down this year. So maybe not striking out quite as many. He's just as effective. Off-speed pitch, low. Nice hold by Eddie Gimble. In his career, Gerald Terry, just a little bit more about him, 27-11 with 41 starts. And the career earned run average is under 3. Here comes the full count to Eddie Gimble. Gimble will spray another one foul, and the long at bat continues. O'Kelly McWilliams, Ivy, waits on deck. Gimble had the successfully executed safety squeeze in inning number 2. That brought home the second run for Lynchburg. Terry taking his time, hasn't started the windup yet. Now he'll begin. Spins and fires, and Gimble fouls another one away. This is a really good at bat. 7 pitches so far for Eddie Gimble. So there's high value in that. Even if you don't end up getting on, you make a guy like Terry work. Rest of the team gets more information, see more pitches. Might wear his confidence down slightly. Another full count pitch on the way. Gimble will take it. It's called strike 3. An over-the-top breaking ball that Gimble just couldn't pull the trigger on. Still a great at bat, again, nonetheless. An 8-pitch at bat for Eddie Gimble. And it's O'Kelly McWilliams stepping in. 9-hole hitter flew out to right. That ended the second inning. It is a 2-2 game. Lynchburg scored their 2 in the second. Verne got 2 runs on a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. O'Kelly McWilliams will take ball 1 high. McWilliams, always a candidate to base hit bunt. He's got some power of his own. He's got 1 home run this year. Ivy hitting out of the crouch, wiggling the hands, and now swinging on a 1-0 delivery and fouling it back towards the soccer field area here at this athletic complex here. Ben Hines Field. This is not on the main campus for Laverne. They're a school that the main campus is just down the road a little bit. This is just one of their athletics facilities. O'Kelly McWilliams will not swing at a 1-1 breaking ball, and now he's in a hole 1-2 with 1 out. Brandon Garcia, the leadoff man, waits on deck for Lynchburg. Garcia is 0 for 2 today. Ground out to the shortstop and the second baseman. Second baseman Jared Benash made a pretty good play on Brandon Garcia. The 1-2 to McWilliams. High fastball, can't catch up. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Gerald Terry. Terry has struck out 3 total, including back-to-back punch-outs of Gimble and McWilliams. Now it's Brandon Garcia. Crowd coming alive for Lynchburg with a "Let's Go Brandon" chant. It is a good Lynchburg crowd that has made the trip. So much fun hanging out with the fans and the players. And the players are staying in nearby Ontario, California, which is even a little bit further east than Laverne. Strike 1 to Brandon Garcia. Terry tossed in another curveball. He's got a really good breaking ball. Nico Urquidy yesterday had a good curveball. He was the starter for Laverne. Brandon Garcia will study an 0-1 delivery, and that is also called a strike. That was a fastball. No balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Garcia. Laverne's going to send up 7, 8, 9 in their half of the 5th inning. High curveball, never came down, and it's a 1-2 count. Yeah, we're in the top of the 5th. Lynchburg needs to win 1 of 2 today. Laverne must win both games to continue their season. So one team goes home today, and we'll be down to the final 8 in Division III baseball. The 1-2 was even higher than the last breaking ball. It's like Terry just kind of lost the feel on a couple. Sometimes when you miss with one curveball, a lot of coaches will go right back to it because they say you know what adjustment to make. You know how to get the feel back. That was not the case that time, and now it's an even count at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. And then Gerald Terry overcorrected on that one. That was a fastball that he spiked in front of the plate. Count now is full. Good at bat from Brandon Garcia. Some longer at bats this inning for Lynchburg. Compare that to the 4th where they went down pretty quickly. Terry got the first 2 outs on just 3 pitches. Here comes the 3-2 to Brandon Garcia. Ball 4. Really quality at bat from Brandon Garcia. And it's an interesting at bat because he never swung the bat. He didn't have to foul off any pitches, but he also did not offer at any bad pitches. And that's a sign of being a good hitter as well. Yes, everybody wants to swing. I don't think any kid grows up hitting in the cage just working on taking over and over. But part of being a good hitter is knowing what to go after and what to lay off of. And Brandon Garcia did just that there. Garcia walked twice yesterday. He's in the top 20 in Division III baseball in walks. 2 outs here with Ben Jones. Ben Jones is 1 for 2 in this game with a double. He doubled in the 3rd and was left stranded at 3rd base. 0-1 as Ben Jones takes a fastball mid-thigh for called strike. There's 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Garcia not running, fastball upstairs, ball 1. Lynchburg scored 7 runs on 6 hits yesterday, but 11 quote-unquote freebies. It was 7 walks and 4 hit batters yesterday for Lynchburg. The 1-1 to Jones. He'll spray it to the left side, a perfectly executed hit and run as Brandon Garcia took off on the pitch. The shortstop vacated that spot to go cover the bag, and Ben Jones just pushed it in that hole. That is classic old school baseball right there. Lynchburg has really been using the hit and run a lot more lately and this season in general. I don't recall Lynchburg really using the hit and run a whole lot last year. That has changed. That's a tool in their box that they're going to with more regularity. And speaking of which, this guy Quentin Madden right now has got some tools. He can hammer baseballs. He can absolutely put pitchers in a vice grip. First pitch coming with 2 outs and 2 on. Here it comes from Terry. Chin high, ball 1. Riley O'Donovan waits on deck. Madden's 0 for 2. Flew out to center, grounded out to the second baseman. That was the ball that Madden really blistered at the second baseman. Here comes another mound visit from Laverne head coach Scott Winterburn. 25-plus seasons here at Laverne for Coach Winterburn. So he's had some sustained success of his own. Travis Beasley, head coach for Lynchburg, in his first season as the head man, but he was the associate head coach last year. And if you talk to anybody on the inside of that Lynchburg dugout, they will tell you that, Travis Beasley obviously had what it took to be a head coach. That was never in doubt. That was an easy transition there. Travis Beasley was already shouldering so much of the load for Lynchburg. And part of the reason for their success in the last half-decade or so, he is that coaching staff that has operated so well together, so seamlessly. Each guy knows their role. They own their role. They excel in their role. And that was one thing that we talked about last year with Coach Lucas Jones as the head coach. He just let everybody spread their wings and fly. And you had so many of those assistant coaches that did. I mean, it's like you've got 5 head coaches in the dugout for Lynchburg, but they don't step on each other's toes. Mound visit over. Terry is ready for a 1-0 to Quinn Madden. Madden bloops this ball into center field. It's going to be down. Brandon Garcia around third. He'll come home and score with no throw. Ben Jones cruising into third. Lynchburg has taken their first lead of Game 2 in the Super Regional. Brandon Garcia hopping around, eyeing the crowd. They show their excitement as Lynchburg has jumped on top. 3-2, Hornets lead. And the damage might not be done just yet for Lynchburg as Riley O'Donovan steps in. Runners at the corners for Riley O'Donovan. 3-2 ball game. Lynchburg on top with 2 outs. Another 2-out run scored by Lynchburg. Remember their big inning yesterday all came with 2 outs. O'Donovan waits the first pitch, and he will take that for ball 1. Runners on first and third for Lynchburg. It's Madden at first, Ben Jones at third. Back-to-back base hits for the Hornets. Ben Jones, a little backside one-hopper through the infield on the hit and run, and then Quinn Madden blooping one into center. Here's the 1-0 to O'Donovan. Curveball, strike 1. Josh Jorman waiting on deck for Lynchburg, subbed into that spot for Eric Hyatt. O'Donovan, inside part of the batter's box there, has his back foot on the back line. Gerald Terry is set. Here comes the 1-1. O'Donovan laces one into center field. Center fielder coming on, making a really good play. Nice grab by Jason Givens to take a hit away and save a run, but Lynchburg does score 1 run. They lead 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. All right, Lynchburg has taken their first lead of the day. 3-2, Hornets are on top. 1 run in the top of the 5th for Lynchburg.
Let's go, Nick.
It was back-to-back singles from Ben Jones and Quinn Madden. Brandon Garcia walked, and it's more 2-out runs for Lynchburg. File that into the 2-out run category. Gimble and McWilliams struck out to begin the 5th inning for Lynchburg. Then Garcia walks, gets on. Jones and Madden single. Quinn Madden gets an RBI bloop shot into center. Tough play here for Gavin Collins. It was a chopper that he had to come on quickly for. Ball bounces off his leather. I think it's a base hit. We'll see if they rule it an error or not. And there is a runner aboard to begin the bottom of the 5th inning for Laverne. That's Aiden Salcido reaching on what looks like they still haven't Still haven't put a hit or an error on the board. Now they're going to call it an error. They call that an error on Gavin Collins. Tough one there. Sacrifice bunt shown by Malachi Francois. He pulls it back, and it's ball one. Nick Matfield still pitching strong for Lynchburg. He struck out 6. He's allowed 3 hits. And Laverne got their runs on the 2-run home run in the bottom of the first. Just going back to that top of the 5th inning for Lynchburg real quick. Quinn Madden gets the bloop RBI single, and then Riley O'Donovan absolutely blisters a ball to center field that Jason Givens makes a good play on. So that's baseball in a nutshell, right? You hit one soft and it finds a hole. You hit one hard and it doesn't. Matfield off the mound to field the bunt, looked at second but opting to go to first for the sure thing, and Lynchburg will record the out there. One gone, successful sacrifice bunt again for Laverne. Laverne had 3 successfully executed sac bunts yesterday. Looks like they've got 2 already today as Matfield bounces off to field another one. Runner on second is Aiden Salcido. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Lynchburg now leads 3-2. Here comes the first pitch to the 9-hole hitter, Jared Benash. Slider for a strike. Benash is 1 for 1. That was a 2-strike hit. Again, Laverne so good with the 2-strike hitting approach. It's really impressed me. Makes it hard on the pitcher. Check swing. Ooh, looked to catch a lot of the plate, but it will be ball 1. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As the stands get crowded here. It is a bigger crowd at Ben Hines Field. I thought we were in that 250 to 300 range yesterday. I bet we're over 400. Pickoff attempt, much closer that time for Lynchburg. You know, Matfield had done a couple of those just token pickoff throws to second earlier in the game where Ben Jones, the second baseman, didn't even offer to tag the runner. That one, Ben Jones did have a little slap tag on the back of Aiden Salcido, who went in standing up. 1-1 on the way to Benash. Here's the pitch from Matfield, and that's a called strike 2. Went with the off speed again. You know, Matfield lately, and perhaps in his whole career, is a heavy diet of breaking balls coming at you. Heavy diet of off-speed pitch. He almost uses the off-speed to set up the fastball, which is sort of the opposite of the classical pitching thought. Classical old-school pitching coaches tell you, hey, pitch with the fastball 70, 80% of the time. Dominate with that. Then go to your off-speed pitch for the strikeout here or there to keep the hitters off balance. Check swing. Did he go? Lynchburg will not ask the question. Bat came off the shoulder from Jared Benash, but he laid off a 1-2 breaking ball. So now our count is even, 2-2, with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Matfield checks the runner. Slow head turn back to the plate. This ball shot to the right side. Ben Jones, diving grab, throws to first. What a play. Access denied on the right side by Ben Jones. He is like a well-placed security system over there. Ben Jones with a diving catch, and one of the better you will see. Jared Benash, tough luck there as he stung that ball, but Ben Jones with a backhand dive got up and flipped it over sidearm to first. There are 2 outs. The runner, Aiden Salcido, did advance to third. So the tying run is 90 feet away for Laverne. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the leadoff man, Benny Vogel. Very dangerous. Vogel is a left-handed hitter, lays off a breaking ball in the dirt. It's a 1-0 count. You know, Matfield struck out 6, but he hasn't struck out any since the 3rd inning, and that's Ryan Vosica, who's waiting on deck. Close miss there from Nick Matfield. It's a 2-0 count. Yesterday, Benny Vogel was 1 for 3 with a walk. He scored the only Laverne run yesterday. This leadoff man was 8 for 15 in Laverne's regional action against Trinity. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball down, and it's a 3-0 count. I believe it's the first time Matfield's gotten to a 3-0 count against anybody. Benny Vogel is a guy who's really coming on strong lately. This is only start number 9 of the season for Benny Vogel. Hitting over 370, though. 3-0 from Matfield is a top rail fastball that gets called strike. Vogel was not only out of the batter's box, he was out of the dirt circle, and we'll say about a sixth of the way down the line to first base. But he'll step back in the batter's box. Matfield's ready quickly. 3-1 on the way with 2 outs from the senior for Lynchburg. That's off the plate, ball 4 anyway, so Vogel just had to wait 1 extra pitch for it. Runners at the corners here for Laverne. Leopards are threatening in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lynchburg leading 3-2. Riley O'Donovan steps out in front of the plate to deliver the first to third steal coverage to the rest of the infield. Outfield is playing Ryan Vosica the opposite way with O'Kelly McWilliams shaded in the right center gap. You're going to get a mound conference here from the assistant coach Michael Solbach. Solbach's mound visits always seem to be perfectly placed. Exactly the right time for Coach Solbach to stride out to the mound here. He'll talk about the pitching plan to Ryan Vosica, who is 1 for 2 today. Matfield struck him out. And that's again, one of 6 Matfield strikeouts, but Vosica is the last one to get punched out by Matfield. So it's been 9 straight hitters that have not struck out against Nick Matfield. Interestingly enough, Nick Matfield has not allowed a hit in now 10 straight batters. The runner at third right now, Aiden Salcido, reached on what was ruled a Gavin Collins error. I think you could have called it a base hit, don't get me wrong. But we will say this, Nick Matfield has not let the ball get out of the infield in a long time. That's for sure. Jared Benash has a hit. Logan Reese has the 2-run home run. And this man, Ryan Vosica, has a hit. Sophomore from Corona, California, is ready for the pitch from the senior in red. It's Nick Matfield standing on the mound for Lynchburg. Curveball low and away. It's a 1-0 count for Nick Matfield facing Ryan Vosica. Benny Vogel is on first because of a walk. You're going to get an offensive timeout here from head coach Scott Winterburn. We discussed this briefly, and really we discuss it probably in every game where this comes up. It's one that you're not going to see on TV in Major League Baseball, but the offensive timeout is an option here in the college game, and you get a lot of coaches that will use the option. I kind of like it. I really like that part of the college game. And so for Nick Matfield, he's got to wander around on the mound a little bit and wait for this. You can break a pitcher's rhythm. Now, you could argue Lynchburg just took a defensive mound conference, so the rhythm is probably gone anyway for Nick Matfield. But I still like it. It's a first to third situation. You put a little doubt into the defense's mind. You put a little doubt into Nick Matfield, the pitcher's mind. He's up there wondering, hey, is this runner at first going to take off? Is it a true double steal? Is it one of those the runner's going to try to get picked off and stay in a rundown, a forced balk situation? A lot of different options here for an offense. Although with 2 outs, the offensive options are slightly limited. Remember, Lynchburg went with a true safety squeeze play with 1 out when they had runners at first and third. It's a 1-1 count as Matfield throws a belt-high fastball in the outer third of the plate. He's set and ready for the 1-1 with 2 outs. Here it comes. Ground ball, left side. Brandon Garcia on the run. Throws across his body. What a play. Hollywood does it again. Yeah, he's lights, camera, action all the time. And Brandon Garcia with a good play to not only take a hit away, but save a run as well. So both teams flashing a little leather. Laverne gets 2 on, but 2 stranded in the bottom of the 5th. And Lynchburg is leading 3-2 after 5 complete. It's a slick defensive play by Lynchburg's outstanding sophomore shortstop, Brandon Garcia, moving to his backhand side to field a bouncing ball from Ryan Vosica. Garcia throwing across his body to get his counterpart, the shortstop for Laverne, by a step. Leopards got 2 on, but 2 stranded in the bottom of the 5th, and Lynchburg holds on to their 1-run lead. 3-2, Lynchburg on top. Here's Josh Jorman, set to begin the top of the 6th inning for Lynchburg. Jorman's first at-bat of the game. He had 2 hits off the bench yesterday. Fastball off the plate by Gerald Terry. Laverne has had some activity in their bullpen the last inning and a half or so. But Terry, the starter, pitching into the 6th, and he's been pretty effective. Lynchburg has scored 3 runs on 6 hits. Josh Jorman belting a ball to right field. Reese going back. Another great grab there by Logan Reese. He made a diving play down the line yesterday. This one just an over-the-shoulder catch on the run of a deep Josh Jorman fly ball. That's the first out in the 6th inning. Gavin Collins is 0 for 2 in this game. Flew out to center on the first pitch in his last at-bat. Popped out to foul territory. First baseman grabbed that. That was a 1-1 delivery. So Gavin Collins has, I think by my estimation, seen 4 pitches so far in this game. There's a middle fastball from Gerald Terry, called strike. It's an 0-1 count with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Laverne's going to send 3-4-5 up in their half of the order. Leadoff man will be Logan Reese, who just made that really great running grab heading towards the fence. Gavin Collins lasers one at the second baseman, but Jared Banash can catch that for the 2nd out of the inning. So there's one for Gavin Collins, a file under the bad luck. He stung that ball hard. He was right on it. But Banash is right there. And there is something to be said for hit them where they ain't. Easier said than done, though, right? Here's Joe Munitz. Munitz is 1 for 2. He had an RBI single in the 2-run 2nd inning for Lynchburg. Hornets do lead 3-2. Pinpoint fastball, outer half from Gerald Terry. Could see Ethan Maratsky or Eddie Gimbel come up to bat next, potentially. Lynchburg has used a couple different left fielders since Logan Webster has gone out with injury. Webster was really solidified in that 8-hole spot and in left field for Lynchburg, but a non-baseball injury has kept him out last couple weekends. Don't know if Logan's listening or watching or whatever, but hope you're doing great. And we do appreciate the fans that are matching up our audio with the Laverne video. Always fun to try to work the different technological options that are available to you. Munitz is working with a 1-2 count. Terry gets a ball hit back at him, bounced off his glove. He'll scramble and then underhand to first, and they'll get Joe Munitz by a step. So Lynchburg hits 2 balls. Correction, Lynchburg actually hit 3 balls pretty hard in that inning. Jorman hits one to the track, Gavin Collins hard at the second baseman, and then Munitz hard right back at the pitcher. But all 3 turn into outs, and Lynchburg will have to have their lead stay. A 3-2 advantage for the Hornets as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's game 2, super regional action between Lynchburg and Laverne. Lynchburg offensively seems to be getting a better read on the starter for Laverne, Gerald Terry. That's something we talk about all the time, isn't it, Lynchburg fans? Offensively, they just get better and better as the game goes on. They wear you down as a pitcher. They get a better look at what you are offering. And Lynchburg's so relentless offensively. They just never give up. They never stop grinding you down, as Brandon Garcia mentioned in our post-game interview yesterday. Spinner from Nick Matfield is low, and it's a 1-0 start to Logan Reese. Reese is 1 for 2 with the 2-run home run for Laverne. There's an inside fastball called strike one. 1-1 count with nobody out to Logan Reese, junior from Palmdale, is the home run leader for the Leopards with 6 now, factoring in the one he hit in the first inning. Only 2 RBI in the game. Here comes the 1-1, called strike 2. Well, Matfield's feeling it, I think. I think Nick Matfield is feeling pretty good on the mound, and he should be. Senior looks in, peering over his left shoulder, now fires the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, good hold from Logan Reese. Ryan Garcia is on deck. He is 0 for 2. Nathan Perry in the hole, 0 for 2. Hits in the lineup for this man, Logan Reese, Ryan Vosica, Jared Banash. Just 3 on the scoreboard right now for the Laverne Leopards. Reese flares one right side. Josh Jorman's got plenty of room to make that catch in foul territory. Lynchburg's first baseman has it, and there is 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ryan Garcia struck out in his first at-bat, grounded out to the third baseman, Gavin Collins. That was the one where Gavin Collins was slid way over in the hole, and Collins ended up moving to his left, his glove side, and actually catching the ball where the traditional shortstop's straight-up positioning would be. Collins right here is slid way over in the hole, but in on the grass. I think just trying to make sure Ryan Garcia doesn't want to put down a bunt to that left side of the infield. Because that's one thing that you can do to beat those shifts. And that's one thing that I think frustrated some Major League Baseball fans when the shift was allowed there. People would say, well, why don't you just bunt it over there to the third base side? So that's an option for a hitter. Ryan Garcia thought about that option, pulled it back, and it's a 1-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2 ball game, Lynchburg by 1. Swung on, hit into center field. O'Kelly McWilliams will study that, move to his right just a few feet, and make the catch in front of his face for out number 2 of the 6th inning. Not a bad swing there by Ryan Garcia, but that ball just kind of powered out, and O'Kelly McWilliams never even had to move back on it. McWilliams and the rest of the Lynchburg outfield is basically what I would call medium deep. It's not as deep really as Lynchburg typically plays. So maybe we would say 3 to 5 steps closer than you'd normally see a Lynchburg outfield play. And that has been a talking point amongst the players, is how the ball is flying here in Southern California, and specifically at Ben Hines Field. You do not seem to see as many extra base hits. We have had some, though. 2-run homer for Laverne's Logan Reese. Josh Jorman hit a ball pretty deep in the last inning. Ben Jones has a double in this game. Brandon Garcia doubled yesterday. But other than that, yes, extra base hits have been limited, and it's a Hornet team that has had a lot of those this season. More extra base hits than last year. 1-1 from Nick Matfield. Check swing by Nathan Perry, not Matthew Perry, I beg your pardon. But Nathan Perry held up on that, according to the first base umpire, and it's a 2-1 count. There's 2 outs. Matfield looks at the target from Riley O'Donovan. It's a bullseye there. Nice location from Nick Matfield to even up the count. Had 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Infield defense straight away. Outfield has Perry played the opposite way. Matfield's 2-2, tapped foul. Yeah, Kelly McWilliams, the center fielder, is shaded in the right center gap for the right-handed hitting Nathan Perry. Lynchburg's got 8-9-1 due up in their half of the 7th inning. Lynchburg, the visitors in Game 2. If there is a Game 3, Lynchburg will revert back to the home team. Matfield's 2-2. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 7 of the ball game for Nick Matfield, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lynchburg defensively. Hornets on top, 3-2 through 6 complete in Super Regional Game 2. Lynchburg leading 3-2. Outstanding starting pitching for Lynchburg has been a theme in this postseason run. It's 9-0 in the postseason for Lynchburg. Playoff precision from the Hornets, and starting pitching has been a massive part of that. Really, as a team, I mean, the bullpen's got to get some credit in there as well. For Lynchburg, bullpen through today, I guess you should say, bullpen has had to throw 21 innings in those 9 games. They've surrendered just 6 earned runs. That's a 2.57 earned run average. Bullpen has 18 strikeouts and just 5 walks. Lynchburg as a team has thrown 81 innings through yesterday in those 9 wins. They've only allowed 18 earned runs, and that's a 1.99 earned run average. Eddie Gimbel is going to try to pop a bunt down the third base line. That's foul, and it's an 0-1 count. But Lynchburg, pitching-wise in general, it's just been it's outstanding is not a descriptive enough word. And you're, again, facing the best competition in the playoffs. You're facing premier offenses. You're facing teams that have won 30-plus games. And Lynchburg pitching has risen to the occasion, and then some. For Nick Matfield, he's through 6 complete. He's allowed 2 earned runs in this one. Matfield's allowed 7 earned runs now in 4 postseason starts. Eddie Gimbel, sharp single up the middle there. Oh, yeah. Number 20 getting it done for Lynchburg. First hit of the game. Eddie Gimbel, again, is a guy that has not had a ton of playoff experience. He's been on these teams that have made postseason runs, but he hasn't been a big factor in the lineup. He is a big factor now. Eddie Gimbel came into the weekend hitting just .226, but you would not know that from the swings that he takes and his approach in the batter's box. Gimbel was 0 for 1 yesterday with a walk, but he's aboard here. Remember, Eddie Gimbel has a successful squeeze bunt RBI as well in this game. So Gimbel's aboard, nobody out. Here's O'Kelly McWilliams. He'll wait for the first pitch. It was a pickoff attempt there by Gerald Terry. The starter's still out for Laverne, and he should get high marks. McWilliams showing the bunt. He'll take it. This ball's low for ball 1. Third baseman was crashing hard. That was Aiden Salcido. Salcido is already set up on the infield grass, and then when McWilliams showed the bunt, he was in even tighter. Let's see how close Salcido gets on this one. Terry is set. McWilliams does show the bunt, pushes it to the right side, but foul. First baseman was crashing as well. So that was both corners coming in hot on O'Kelly McWilliams. Some teams will occasionally have the option where the hitter can pull back and swing there when you see the infield moving around and coming at you with the punt block defense almost. Let's see what IV does here. 1-1 count. He will show bunt again. Third baseman Salcido about 45 feet away. McWilliams pushes it down the first baseline. Throw is a little wide, but the second baseman will hold on there. That was Jared Banash with another good defensive play as the first baseman Ryan Garcia crashed, made a snap throw that was slightly to the center field side of the first base bag, I guess you'd say. Okay, successful sack bunt for Lynchburg. Taking a little bit of a page out of Laverne's book, although Lynchburg has done some sacrifice bunting quite a bit throughout the year. Brandon Garcia hits with one out and a runner on second. That runner is Eddie Gimble, the Lynchburg left fielder. Terry is set, hands at the chest, and now firing an off-speed pitch that catches the outside corner for strike one. Ben Jones is waiting on deck. Benny Bombs has 2 hits, 2 for 3, including a double, and that perfectly executed hit and run earlier in the game. Brandon Garcia, healthy cut, but it's an 0-2 count. I think Terry had some extra zip on the fastball there. Gerald Terry's pitching deep into this ball game, but he's still got some life in the right arm. Gerald Terry, a former conference pitcher of the year for the Laverne Leopards. 0-2 delivery on the way for Brandon Garcia. Garcia hands up high, red batting gloves, waits for this one. It's in the dirt. Good sprawl and stop by Nathan Perry, the catcher, to keep that one in front for Laverne. Yeah, Gerald Terry had 2 appearances back in 2019, 6 in 2020, the COVID year. Made 5 appearances in 2021. Then he became a full-time starter. 16 appearances and 10 starts in 22. 16 starts last year on the way to that conference pitcher of the year. And this is start number 13 for Gerald Terry. He's behind by 1. The 1-2 to Brandon Garcia. Pulled into right field. That's a base hit. Gimble around third. Oh, stop sign comes up. Stop sign comes up and out. Gimble holds. Runners at the corners for the Hornets as they look to sting again here in the top of the 7th inning. Garcia at first after a hard single. Eddie Gimble at third. He has singled. It's another multi-hit inning for Lynchburg. Lynchburg got 2 in the second on 3 hits, 1 in the 5th on 2 hits. A few other base knocks scattered around there. Lynchburg has 3 runs on 8 hits total. Garcia leads off at first. He'll be a threat to run at any point during this at-bat and perhaps on the first pitch to Ben Jones. 1 out. Jones under this, sending it foul right over our heads. And it's an 0-1 count.
Let's go, Lynchburg!
Looks like the Hornets, by my records, have left 4 stranded and 3 of those in scoring position. Laverne has 2 runs on 3 hits. Leopards have left 3 aboard and 2 in scoring position. We are in the top of the 7th. 0-1 pitch coming up to Ben Jones, who's already got 2 hits today. Looking to bust out. Garcia runs. Fastball. Good pitch to throw on. Gimble's going to try to go home. Play at the plate. Did he get around the tag? He did not. Eddie Gimble is out there. Well executed first to third defense there by Laverne. You have to give the Leopards D full credit. Ryan Vosica cut in front of the bag, caught the ball, and then fired home, and he threw a perfect strike back to the catcher, Nathan Perry, who had the swipe tag. Lynchburg fans think Gimble might have got around that. Head coach Scott Winterburn coming out of the Leopard dugout for something. I don't know if they want to put Ben Jones on or not. He's just confirming the count, I believe. It is a 1-1 count. So Brandon Garcia is at second. There's 2 outs now as Eddie Gimble has been caught stealing at home. Lynchburg trying to use a little bit more small ball. You might call it manufacturing a run, the first to third steal. Doesn't work out for the Hornets this time. They still lead by 1. Garcia bouncing off. He'll steal third. Ball in the dirt. No throw that time. Perfect jump by Brandon Garcia. So he was already in scoring position, but now Hollywood's 90 feet closer. Ben Jones works with a 2-1 count. Benny Bombs was on in every postseason game last year. Remember, that was a 15-3 playoff run for Lynchburg last season. This year in 2024, it's 9 in a row for the Hornets. Check swing from Ben Jones. Didn't go, but it's a called strike. And now the count is even at 2-2. Lynchburg 15-3 and 18 postseason games last year. This year, they are 9-0 in playoff competition. Lynchburg has won 13 of their last 15 total. Here comes the 2-2 from Terry, down for ball 3. Garcia still bouncing off and threatening down the third base line. And Coach Oscar Garcia, no relation by the way, but OG was kind of telling him, okay, let's just go back to third. Oh, that old Little League play, you might bait the pitcher or the catcher just a little bit, perhaps. Garcia's that guy, though. He's active. He's always bouncy. He bounces through the hotel lobby when he's walking to the bus. 3-2 to Ben Jones. Hits it backside. That's through the infield. Another run for Lynchburg. Another RBI for Ben Jones. And how about a 3-hit day for Benny Bonds? Lynchburg leads 4-2 as Brandon Garcia able to just waltz home on that clean single from Ben Jones. Said in a little pre-game interview, a little pre-series interview we did on Thursday that he is trying to use the whole field a little bit more. He is trying to go with those outside pitches. He's not trying to just yank and elevate everything. And Ben Jones is a complete package. Jones leads off at first. He might go on this first pitch to Quinn Madden. 2 outs here for Quinn Madden. Low and away, ball 1. 3-hit inning for Lynchburg. They did that in the second inning where they scored 2. Lynchburg 0 in innings 1, 3, 4, and 6. They scored 2 in the second, 1 in the fifth, and 1 so far in the top of the 7th. Quinn Madden can add more to that comma in the sentence right there. Madden pulls the ball left side, 8 up the third baseman. He'll stay with it. Strong throw across from Aiden Salcido to stay with it and get Quinn Madden at first. But more damage done for Lynchburg. They score 1 run on 3 hits. Hornets leave 1 stranded. No Laverne errors. And right now the Leopards are trailing 4-2 with only 3 swings left as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Laverne has 9 outs remaining with their season on the line. Remember the situation. This is game 2 of the Super Regional. Lynchburg won game 1 yesterday, 7-1. So the Leopards must win 2 to advance to the D3 World Series, the national championship, the Elite 8, however you want to call it. And that starts on Friday in Eastlake, Ohio. Matfield is low on his first pitch to Jason Gibbons. Center fielder has made a couple nice plays in this series. He'll pull one to the left side. Brandon Garcia with a good throw across to get the out. And I beg your pardon, fans, that was a pinch hitter. That was Matt Rice. Didn't hear the PA announce that, but that was a different hitter. That was Rice, but he's retired on the 6-3 putout. Brandon Garcia, classic Hollywood stuff, has made some great plays in this game. Garcia is 1 for 3 with a walk, a single, and he just scored the 4th run of the game for Lynchburg there in the top of the 7th inning. Lynchburg did lose 1 runner on the bases. That was Eddie Gimbel, caught stealing home on a 1st to 3rd double steal. Aiden Salcido, 0-1 count as he takes a bottom rail fastball from Nick Matfield. There is activity in the Lynchburg bullpen. Curveball from Matfield is low. And now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Lynchburg, again, needs to win one of two today. They have two chances to advance. Lynchburg has not played an elimination game this year in this postseason run. Undefeated, 9 games in a row. Lynchburg has won in the playoffs. But they are a perfect 3-0 in ending other teams' seasons. So when another team is facing an elimination game, Lynchburg is 3-0. And that would be Bridgewater on that opening weekend, Roanoke at the ODAC Final Four there in Tyson's Corner, and then Case Western Reserve last week in Cleveland, Ohio. Lynchburg is trying to book a spot back to Northeast Ohio. It is officially East Lake, Ohio, but a Cleveland suburb. We'd be about 20 minutes north of where we were at. Called strike. Salcido got rid of the bat, and then he scrambles to get it back. He gave the umpire a little my bad gesture, and it looked like the ump kind of had the body language of, yeah, you're fine. Just hurry up and get back in here. Won't hold it against you. And in the old days, the umpire sometimes would hold that against you when you throw the bat down and head down to first thinking it's ball 4. It's a full count, though. See what Matfield goes with here. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. This ball sprayed back in our direction, and it's foul. Malachi Francois scheduled to be on deck. Yeah, he's still in the on-deck circle there. Left fielder is a junior from Alameda and did not start, but did get a pinch hit at bat yesterday. Salcido has been in the lineup both games here and playing third base. A really good third base for the Leopards. The pitch from Matfield, chopped up the middle. It's going to be a tough play. Ben Jones gets there. He's going to keep the ball in his hand, though. He thought about jumping and doing the old Derek Jeter jump throw, but Jones decided there was no chance to get Salcido, and that'll go down as an infield single, even though Jones still got to the outfield grass while he was fielding that ball. 4th hit of the ball game for Laverne. Believe it or not, it's their first single since the first batter in the 3rd inning. It's their first hit since the first batter in the 3rd inning. So Nick Matfield walked one, and there was an error in there for Lynchburg defensively. So Matfield didn't retire all those batters consecutively, but Lynchburg, Nick Matfield did not allow a hit in 15 batters. 15 straight leopard hitters could not hit Nick Matfield successfully. This one's floated into right, but Quinn Madden will make the catch easily. O'Kelly McWilliams sliding over in the gap to back him up, but that was Madden's ball all the way as Francois flies out, and there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. So I don't want to say Matfield's been on cruise control because he has had to work pretty hard for these outs. And again, Laverne has had some runners reach, one on an error from Gavin Collins that you could have called a base hit. And there was a walk in there that Matfield issued as well. Curveball down. Great block by Riley O'Donovan. And then O'Donovan just pouncing out of the stance to jump on that ball before the runner, Salcido, can advance. This is Jared Benash. He's 1 for 2. And before Salcido, Benash was the last Laverne player to get a base hit on Nick Matfield. The 1-0 is across for a strike. Now it's an even 1-1 count with 2 outs. Lynchburg will be looking for more insurance runs. Hornets on top by 2. Matfield set, sidearm 1-1 pitch is off the plate, wide right for ball 2. Riley O'Donovan will lead off for Lynchburg in their half of the 8th inning, which is coming up. Lynchburg needs one more out here in the bottom of the 7th. 4-2, the Hornet advantage. This ball is swung on and fouled away. It's got to hit the netting on the right side. Jorman sliding into it, actually caught it off the net, but it's just a foul ball. It was really good effort there by Josh Jorman to break hard on the sprint. Quinn Madden was coming from his right field position as well. And now it's a 2-2 count on Jared Benash. He had a 2-strike hit in that 3rd inning single situation there.
Deuces, baby, deuces. Come on, Nick.
Infield straight up. Outfield has Benash played the opposite way. Here's the 2-2 from Matfield. This ball is sent the opposite way. Another 2-out single and a 2-strike single from Jared Benash. O'Kelly McWilliams, the center fielder, catches that ball off 2 hops in the right center gap and then fires it into the cutoff man, Brandon Garcia. Station to station there. Salcido moves up to second, and Jared Benash is aboard with his second hit of the game. Just love the 2-strike hitting approach from the Laverne Leopards. They got some 2-out hits yesterday. Logan Reese's home run came on a 1-2 slider, a 2-strike home run. I think Ryan Vosica, of the 5 hits, I think Ryan Vosica's single in the first inning is the only one that did not come with 2 strikes. Need to go back and check that. It looks like, fans, that Nick Matfield's afternoon is going to be done here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. A slow stroll out to the mound by the head coach, Travis Beasley. He'll put the left arm around Nick Matfield, looks him in the eye, and I think the conversation is, Nick, you did an A-plus job. You did everything we wanted and then some. Lynchburg crowd's going to get on their feet and give Nick Matfield a big round of applause as he walks off. Nick Matfield has kept a potent Laverne Leopard offense in check. Officially, it's going to be 6 2/3 innings for Nick Matfield. He surrendered 5 base hits, walked only 1, and struck out 7. Nick Matfield has limited the damage on the scoreboard to just 2 Laverne runs, and that was on 1 swing of the bat from Logan Reese in the first inning. Laverne got those 2 runs there, and it's zeros in innings 2 through 6, and so far in the 7th. But Austin Riney will be the new pitcher for Lynchburg. He will enter with runners on first and second and 2 outs, and he's going to face the top of the Laverne order. It's Benny Vogel that'll be waiting on deck to greet Austin Riney. We'll tell you a little bit more about Austin Riney as we'll keep it right here during this pitching change. And a reminder, Lynchburg does lead 4-2. Hornets tied the game up in the top of the 2nd with 2 runs on 3 hits. Lynchburg took the lead in the top of the 5th with 1 run. And they've added insurance in the top of the 7th with a single run on 3 hits there. So the new man is Austin Riney, sophomore lefty, out of the bullpen for Lynchburg. And Austin Riney is a guy that we always talk about did not pitch much last year. 3 appearances, and I believe just over an inning last year for Austin Riney across those 3 outings. But the sophomore from Midlothian has been a key man for Lynchburg this year, coming out of the bullpen. This season, Riney has made now 22 appearances, so this will be appearance number 23. All relief opportunities for Riney. He's 3-1 this year. He's allowed 15 earned runs across 25 2/3 innings of work. He struck out 23 and only walked 11. The numbers are great for Austin Riney. Riney last pitched last weekend, a week ago today, against Case Western Reserve. And in that outing, Riney went 2 innings. Austin Riney did give up 3 hits in those 2 innings. And Case Western scored 1 earned run off Austin Riney. Riney threw to 1 batter the evening before on Friday night. That was a little 3-pitch outing where Riney got a good morning, good afternoon, good night strikeout. Riney did strike out 1 against Case Western on Saturday as well. The 2-inning outing was one of the longer ones in recent results for Austin Riney. How about that sinking 2-seam fastball that absolutely befuddled Benny Vogel. Vogel went after it, but was nowhere close. 0-1 count. Runners on first and second. Key situation in the bottom of the 7th. Riney, left-hander set, deals. This ball's off the plate in the other batter's box, and now it's a 1-1 count to Benny Vogel. Left-handed swinging junior from Villa Park, California, is 0 for 2 today. Scratch that, he's 0 for 1, a sac bunt and a walk in there for Benny Vogel. Vogel went after a high fastball, popped into left. Eddie Gimbel on the run to make the grab, caught it in stride, a ball that was floating and looked like it was in danger of dropping, but Gimbel makes the catch. Another 3-pitch outing as Austin Riney comes in to get the final out in the bottom of the 7th inning. So the Leopards do threaten with 2 singles but it's 2 left on, and Lynchburg maintaining a 2-run advantage. We've just got 2 innings to play in Game 2 Super Regional action. Yeah, it's really deuces wild again, isn't it? So glad you're tuning in and hanging out with us. A special audio-only presentation here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. New pitcher for the Laverne Leopards will be number 34, Matthew Demaritz. Working on the pronunciations. We didn't get a pronunciation guide, but number 34, Demaritz, is a junior from Glendora, California. He will face Riley O'Donovan, Josh Jorman, and Gavin Collins. It's 4-5-6 due up for Lynchburg in their half of the 8th inning, and Lynchburg is sporting the 2-run advantage here, as it's getting down to pressure cooker time again. It's been a pressure-filled first 2 games. I mean, you got to think Game 1 was a 0-0 ball game for the first half of it, the first 5 innings. Laverne jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Lynchburg tied it up pretty quickly, 1-1. Then the Hornets explode late. Riley O'Donovan ambushing a fastball, but yanking it foul, and it's an 0-1 count. O'Donovan was definitely ready for the first one. But back to the close nature of playoff baseball in general, but specifically these 2 games. I mean, every pitch has felt ultra important. Every pitch has had a lot riding on it. And you just can't make mistakes as a pitcher. As a hitter, you have to be ready to take advantage of those mistakes. You have to be ready even to try to take advantage of the really good pitches. Laverne's done that with the 2-strike hitting approach. And Lynchburg certainly had their share of that as well. Here's a fastball that was up and in on Riley O'Donovan. It's ball 1. And defensively, you have to be ready for all the opportunities. We've seen some outstanding leather work. Both teams have had some good plays that have saved runs, taken hits away, and some errors in there as well. Lynchburg is being charged with 1 error in this game so far. Breaking ball from Demaritz is a called strike. He last pitched May 18th against Trinity through 4 1/3 innings. Gave up no hits, no earned runs, did walk a couple. Check swing from O'Donovan. That ball skips into the ground. Catcher Perry is going to scramble out and throw down to first to finalize the strikeout there and the first out of the 8th inning. This brings up Josh Jorman. Lefty's 0 for 1 in this game. He's 2 for 3 yesterday. Another multi-hit game off the bench yesterday for Josh Jorman. And if you didn't know, Jorman scored the winning walk-off run against Case Western Reserve in Game 3 of last weekend for Lynchburg. It was Game 6 of the tournament, and it continued at the time. Lynchburg's perfect postseason run. Hornets did that yesterday with a 7-1 victory, and they're looking to stay unbeaten in playoff action this year, trying to hold on to this one, Game 2, in a best 2 out of 3 series today against the Laverne Leopards. 2-0 count as Josh Jorman watches a couple go by. Gavin Collins waiting on deck. Gavin Collins, 198 hits in his career. Collins with some fine defensive work again, as usual. Fastball above the knee is off the plate, and it's a 3-0 count on Josh Jorman. So Gerald Terry was the starter for Laverne. He was really, really good. Well, the umpire's going to walk over to the Laverne dugout and hold the hand up and say that's enough, as the Leopard coaches and players were voicing their disapproval about the call. And now the umpire will step out a second time, and he's going to go to his official score sheet there and note that he has warned the Laverne dugout. I think if you're the Tigers, you're obviously a team that, or excuse me, the Leopards, I'm sorry. The Laverne Leopards, you're obviously a team that plays with passion. You know your season's on the line. I don't think anything was said that was too out of the ordinary there, but our umpire had decided that he had heard enough, and hopefully it'll stop there. 3-0 coming up to Josh Jorman. Here's the pitch. Well, Jorman was on green there. He took a good swipe at that and fouled it away. 3-1 delivery on the way as Lynchburg leads 4-2. Merritt's is set. Right-hander will fire. That went to the backstop, and it's ball 4. Josh Jorman sprints down to first. It is a deep backstop, but the way the ball caromed off the padding kind of came right back to the catcher, Nathan Perry, so there wasn't any situation where Josh Jorman could take a turn for second. But it's an interesting play because some folks forget that ball 4 is a live ball. Runners can advance, and occasionally you will see a hitter walk and then take the turn around first and try to head for second, and it ends up being a really long throw from the catcher when you pick that ball up from the backstop wall sometimes. Breaking ball is off the plate for ball 1 to Gavin Collins. So Demerit's a little bit of struggle with the location at the moment. There is 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Collins, flat bat, red batting gloves, hands wiggle. He'll watch this one come in just above the knee for strike 1. Say flat bat. Gavin Collins is one of those hitters that kind of lays it across his shoulder, and the bat is, you'd say, parallel with the ground. Whereas some hitters have that more upright vertical bat, and then some guys are somewhere in between that. But Gavin lays it across his shoulder there. He'll study a breaking ball that skips off the dirt and into the body of the catcher, Nathan Perry. Good block there. Josh Jorman had no chance to advance to second. Jorman leads off at first. It's a 2-1 count with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Lynchburg leading 4-2. Collins waits on the 2-1. Swings at it, taps it off the plate, and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gavin Collins. Joe Munitz, first-year man, waiting on deck for Lynchburg. Collins is 0 for 3, but he hit a ball hard in his last at-bat. Munitz is 1 for 3. It was an RBI single way back in the 2nd inning. Collins waits. Demerit's throws, check swing from Gavin Collins. He did hold up, and now it's a full count. Josh Jorman with decent speed. He could be on the move here with a full count. Jorman has not had as much offensive work last year, or this year. Last year, Jorman, of course, .392 hitter, just 1 for 2 in the stolen base department. I want to say Jorman's got 1 this year as well. Will not run. Fastball, ball 4. Very close. I think Gavin Collins might have thought he struck out there, but it's a ball 4. It's back-to-back walks for Demerit's. And some of that may stem back to the conversation where the umpire had to tell the Laverne dugout that he had heard enough of the protesting of his strike zone. Again, umpires do not do that as much anymore, but typically, like most human beings, umpires don't really take well to criticism, especially in a heated moment like this. We are in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 2-run ball game. Lynchburg 4-2. Check swing from Munitz. He did go around, though, and it's strike 1. Kind of fumbled the Josh Jorman stolen base stats there. Jorman is 2 for 2 in the stolen base department this year. 1 for 2 last year. I think too many numbers. Too many numbers in this game of baseball. There's a stat for everything. Fastball wide. Count is now 1-1 on Joe Munitz. Left-handed swinger. Wears number 9 for Lynchburg. They are in their red jerseys. Red tops, white pants, black helmet, black hat for Lynchburg. Laverne in the home white pinstripes with the green and orange hat. Here's the 1-1. Called strike 2. Jorman retreats back to second. Gavin Collins is at first. They both walked. Lynchburg, as a club yesterday, took 7 walks. Looks like it's just 3 today, and 2 of these from the relief man Demerits. Gerald Terry was really good in the start for Laverne. Demerits looking at Jorman. Here comes the 1-2. That's ball 2. Yeah, Lynchburg 7 walks yesterday, 4 hit by pitch. So today those numbers are down. It's 3 base on balls for the Hornets offense. No hit by pitch so far anyway. We're in the top of the 8th inning. There's 1 out. Joe Munitz waits on a 2-2. Well wide. And now the count is full. So for Matthew Demerits, he may be feeling some pressure of the moment with back-to-back walks. He may feel his back to the wall right here. It's a Lynchburg offense that will do that to you even in a 0-0 game. But now Lynchburg leads by 2 late in the game. Strike 3. Joe Munitz took that one looking, and his first step was back to the dugout. He seemed to know that one was too close to take. Here comes Sean Pokerock. He'll pinch hit for Eddie Gimble. Gimble's day will finish successfully at 1 for 2. Gimble also had the squeeze bunt RBI in the second inning. Gimble struck out 1 time, but that was an 8-pitch at bat, and then Eddie Gimble also singled. Eddie Gimble has been a defensive force for Lynchburg in the playoff run, and he made a couple fine catches today. Made the running grab to end the bottom of the 7th inning. Sean Pokerock, 2 on for him. His pinch hit numbers lately have been nuts. His starting numbers are good too. Sean Pokerock, a pinch hit 2-run home run against Case Western Reserve. That was the first time Lynchburg beat Case last weekend. Sean Pokerock had a pinch hit grand slam home run against Guilford. So Sean Pokerock knows this moment all too well. See if he can deliver again. 1-0 to Pokerock. That's ball 2 now. Pokey didn't even have to sniff that one, and now he's going to be sitting on a bright green go signal with a 2-0 count. We're going to get a move to the pen. Scott Winterburn is out of the dugout. He'll make a move in the middle of an at-bat. Actually did this twice yesterday. Made pitching changes in the middle of an at-bat, which is slightly unorthodox, but Coach Winterburn has seen enough from relief man Matthew Demerits, and now you're going to get another new arm into the contest for Laverne. Let's just stay right here and figure it out. Might be Klopp again. Austin Klopfenstein. Let's keep an ear out for the PA, public address announcer. We'll see if we can figure it out for you, baseball fans. Let's tell you what we know while we wait on that. It's a 4-2 Lynchburg lead. We are in the top of the 8th inning. There are 2 outs and 2 on. Runners on first and second for Lynchburg. It'll be a 2-0 count to Sean Pokerock. I'm hearing the song here, and it sounds like Klopp's song from yesterday. Although I guess another Laverne pitcher could use that song as their warm-up music. It's kind of got a reggae SoCal vibe. It is Austin Klopfenstein. Coming into yesterday, Klopfenstein had a 3.72 earned run average. He had 3 saves and a 5-1 record. For Klopp yesterday, the outing against Lynchburg was not nearly as good as those numbers coming into the game indicate. Let me tell you what happened with Klopp yesterday. By the way, he's a junior from Palm Springs, California. But yesterday at the game against Lynchburg, Klopp officially got charged with 1 inning pitched. He only gave up 1 hit, but it was 4 earned runs against him. There was 1 walk. He struck out 3, and Klopp also walked 2. So Lynchburg made the most of their 1 hit they made the most of the one walk and two hit by pitches. 2 hit batters in there for Klopp. The first one was O'Kelly McWilliams, who wore a fastball in the elbow with the bases loaded to bring in what at that point was the go-ahead run. Lynchburg's scoring did not stop there. Brandon Garcia took a 4-pitch RBI walk right after O'Kelly McWilliams got hit in that 8th inning. Then it was the Ben Jones 2 RBI single. At that point, basically the damage was done. Lynchburg ended up scoring 6 runs total in that 8th inning. Remember, Gavin Collins actually got hit in the head in that 8th inning as well. Josh Jorman started that inning with a single. So yesterday for Lynchburg, it was 1 in the 7th, 6 in the 8th. We're in the top of the 8th right now. Lynchburg is leading 4-2 in Game 2 of the Super Regional Series against the Laverne Leopards. Lynchburg needs only win 1 of 2 today. Laverne has to win both. The 2-0 from Klopp is high. It was a good competitive pitch, but it was high for ball 3. Austin Klopfenstein. 3-0. Might be a take sign here for Sean Pokerock. Let's see. Yeah, middle fastball. Pokey does not get the bat off his shoulder. And now the count is 3-1. It'll be back to a green light situation here for Sean Pokerock. Postseason success last year for Pokey. He's done it again this year in some really key spots. Lynchburg leading by 2. They'd love some more right here. The 3-1 to Sean Pokerock is low, and that's ball 4. The bases are now loaded for IV. O'Kelly McWilliams, the 4th. He's 0 for 2, sack, bunt, strikeout, and a fly out to right, a ball that O'Kelly McWilliams hit fairly well, but Logan Reese made a good grab in right field. This might feel like deja vu all over again for Austin Klopfenstein. He hit O'Kelly McWilliams yesterday with the bases loaded. That gave Lynchburg the lead. Lynchburg already has the lead in this one. We're in the top of the 8th. Hornets advantage 4-2. Here's the pitch. Nice location there and a good start. IV watches that one go into the catcher's mitt, and it's an 0-1 count. Pokey at first. It is Gavin Collins at second and Josh Jorman at third for Lynchburg. Spike in the dirt from Klopp. Good stop and save from Nathan Perry. Sophomore catcher's put his body on the line for Laverne, and he's caught both games here. I wonder if we'd see Perry catch a third game if it went to it. Nathan Perry, hitless day yesterday. Nathan Perry today is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, swinging the bat. It's IV O'Kelly McWilliams. He'll watch another ball come in low. Another good stop from Perry, by the way. 2-1 count for Ivy. The 5th-year transfer from Wofford has really loved his time at Lynchburg. Said day 1 stepping on campus, he just fell in love with the place. Yeah, you don't want to have regrets about the previous 4 years. Everything happens for a reason, right? But O'Kelly McWilliams is really loving being a Hornet. 2-1 pitch coming up to McWilliams. Swung through that. Now it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. 4-2 is the score. Austin Klopfenstein, the closer for Laverne, is on again in a pressure situation. Walked the first batter he faced. That was Sean Pokerock. O'Kelly McWilliams waits for the 2-2, fouls it off towards the on-deck circle where Brandon Garcia is going to pick it up. BG Hollywood is waiting on deck. He's 1 for 3 today with a walk and a single. More great defensive work in this series from Brandon Garcia. But what else is new, right, baseball fans? Set your watch by that. Another 2-2 to O'Kelly McWilliams. Another one that he gets on top of, and that one actually bounced back and hit his bat twice. But it is a foul ball. Sun is truly out now, pumping through the clouds. Still a very nice day to play. Right around 70 degrees right now. Typical SoCal Saturday to begin Memorial Day weekend. Lynchburg trying to make the most of it. Up by 2. 2-2 pitch. O'Kelly McWilliams sprays this into left field. It's down. One more in for Lynchburg. Gavin Collins will take the turn. It's a 2-out, 2 RBI single for O'Kelly McWilliams, the fourth. And Lynchburg has put a serious cushion between them and the Leopards now. Hornets on top 4-2. 6-2. Excuse me. Lynchburg already led 4-2. It's a 6-2 advantage now for Lynchburg. How about O'Kelly McWilliams, the fourth, putting his team up by 4. Sean Pokerock's now at second, IV's at first. Here's Brandon Garcia. A hit in his last at bat. He's going to have to wait because the catcher, Nathan Perry, wants to go have a chat with Austin Kloppenstein. Lynchburg 6, Laverne 2. And Laverne has not scored since the first inning. A 2-run home run from Logan Reese. Reese will be due up second in the 8th inning. The bottom of the 8th, the Leopards have to get there first. Then they're going to have to put together a furious rally to try to erase what is now a 4-run deficit for Laverne. Lynchburg on top by 4, but a chance to add even more to that with a really talented hitter, Brandon Garcia, stepping in. Brandon Garcia has 8 postseason hits in this 9-game unbeaten run, but he's taken 10 walks and been hit by 1 pitch. So Brandon Garcia's been on a lot. Typical leadoff play. Again, just set your watch by that when you're talking about Brandon Garcia. Fastball low in the dirt is ball 1. Hollywood yesterday had the double in the 7th inning, came around to score. Brandon Garcia was then a part of the big 8th inning with a bases loaded walk. Curveball downstairs, ball 2. Garcia looks like he's in a good spot here. It looks like he's seeing Klopp pretty good. Brandon Garcia coming into the weekend was hitting .324. That was 61 hits in 188 at-bats. Garcia waiting on the 2-0. Here it is. Fastball for a called strike. Brandon Garcia, again, back to his talents. He's got an elite eye as well. He can hit with 2 strikes. Garcia came in with 41 walks, and that was good for a top 20 spot in all of Division III baseball. There's an eye-line fastball for ball 3. Brandon Garcia walked twice yesterday and once today. So should be up to, 44 walks this season? He's closing in on Ben Jones territory with those numbers. Here comes the 3-1. Brandon Garcia, left-handed hitting sophomore, waits for it with 2 on. His team leads by 4. Swung and missed that. So now it's a full count. 3-2, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Sean Pokerock leading off at second. O'Kelly McWilliams is at first. McWilliams just had a 2 RBI single that gave Lynchburg some much-needed cushion. Here comes the full count pitch. Garcia waves at that, and it's strike 3. Another successful inning for Lynchburg. Hornets get 2 runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 stranded, but the big numbers are on the board. Hornets on top 6-2 as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Game 2. Super regional play against the Laverne Leopards. Lynchburg leading the Laverne Leopards 6-2. Hornets are on top. Lynchburg got 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, and now 2 in the 8th inning. That was 2 runs on 1 hit, but there were 3 walks in there. Lynchburg has taken 4 base on balls total now in the game. Lynchburg 6 runs on 10 hits. Looks like the Hornets have left 7 on base, and 4 of those are in scoring position. The lone hit in that 8th inning for Lynchburg was a big one. It was O'Kelly McWilliams. with a two-strike single in the left field that scored 2 runs. Sean Pokerot got a pinch hit walk. Pokey's going to stay in to catch for Lynchburg. So Riley O'Donovan's day is done. Ethan Morotsky will move into left field. So Ethan Morotsky's in the 4 spot in the order for Lynchburg. That's where Riley O'Donovan was. Sean Pokerot pinch hit for Eddie Gimble, who was in left. He'll stay in as the battery mate for Colin McGuire, who's on. McGuire pitched the 9th inning yesterday. He's on in the bottom of the 8th to try to take this one home for Lynchburg and let them punch their ticket to the D3 World Series. The national championship awaits in East Lake, Ohio. McGuire's north of the zone on his first pitch, but then comes back with a strike. It's a 1-1 count on Ryan Vosique. The sophomore shortstop for Laverne is 1 for 3. Lynchburg has a 4-run cushion to work with. Never feels comfortable for a baseball coach. And in the playoffs, it definitely does not feel comfortable right now for the Lynchburg dugout. You have to say, though, and the guys will tell you as Vosica puts one in play, Brandon Garcia will scoop, center it up, and throw for the first out of the 8th inning. But you will hear from the Lynchburg dugout, from the coaches and the players, that postseason success last year and this year has allowed them to be more confident in these situations, in these close games. Lynchburg has played relatively pressure-free in this postseason run. They have been there before. Yes, it's a new team with new faces. Even old faces from last year are in different roles this season. But Lynchburg has performed when the pressure has been on. And all the guys will tell you, and the coaches too, that last year's success has bolstered their confidence for this year. There's no denying that that's been a factor. Lynchburg's confidence from last year, they know what it takes. Colin McGuire knows what it takes. Just missed the zone there. It will run the count to 2-1 to Logan Reese. Reese with the only 2 RBI in this game for Laverne. The 2-run homer came on a 2-strike slider. Another 2-strike hit for Laverne. Lynchburg's had their share of those as well, including their most recent hit, O'Kelly McWilliams' little 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI single in the 8th inning. It's a 2-2 count now. A lot of 2s there. Logan Reese fouled one away. Reese, just barely got a piece of that. That was off the cap, then the body of Sean Pokerot. Pokey's okay. He'll put the mask back on after getting a little once-over from the home plate umpire. Colin McGuire pitching from the windup. Base is empty. 1 out in the 8th inning. He'll get Logan Reese to fly one to right. Long run right here. Josh Jorman on the move. He'll dive, but he comes up empty-handed. This ball bounces foul. It was about 3 feet to the right of the first base foul line. And Josh Jorman on a full sprint, laid out, dove for that. Could not quite get there. Quentin Madden was in the zip code, hustling as usual, and Ben Jones was headed that direction as well. But Jorman was the one that was closest to it. And he'll head back to the infield dirt. Rest of the right side there gets set up in their usual spots. Logan Reese will try again here with the 2-2 count. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Laverne's down to their final 5 outs. They need to erase a 4-0 deficit, a 6-2 deficit rather, but a 4-run deficit. Reese watches the slider start in the zone but go out for ball 3. Full count pitch coming up from Colin McGuire. Here it is. This one lined to Ben Jones. It hit his glove and bounced out. He's going to scramble to it, but he will not have a play at first. Ben Jones climbed the ladder to get a piece of that. It popped out of his mitt and was nearby, but he couldn't pick it up in time. That's got to be a base hit to me. I thought Gavin Collins got saddled with a tough error earlier in this game. Yeah, that's a hit right there. They've ruled that 2-hit day for Logan Reese, including the home run. Really hit that one well. We saw Ben Jones dive and take a hit away earlier in this game. That was on Jared Benash. This one, Ben Jones just could not complete another outstanding defensive play. Runner on first is Logan Reese, the right fielder for Laverne. Ryan Garcia steps in. 1-0 count on Garcia with 1 out. Gavin Collins slid off the line in the hole between second and third. Garcia will hit one at Collins. He dives, but it's by. It's into left field. Reese will stop at second. Ethan Morotsky scrambling to scoop it up in left field for Lynchburg. Okay, pressure cooker coming again because Laverne is starting to gather some momentum. The Leopards have back-to-back base hits. There are two balls that really just barely squeezed through the infield, but they count as base hits and the necessary base runners that Laverne is looking for right now. That's Ryan Garcia's first hit of the series thus far. Another mound visit coming from assistant coach Michael Solbach. He'll go out and have a chat with Colin McGuire, the first-year pitcher for Lynchburg from Cross Junction, Virginia. A mix of starting and relieving this season for Colin McGuire. So far, in his opening season as a Lynchburg Hornet, Colin McGuire has a 4.02 earned run average. He's 5-1 with 4 saves. It's 8 starts for McGuire, and now it looks like 16 relief appearances counting this one. So I said it was a fairly even mix. It's actually 2-1 more bullpen opportunities rather than starts for Colin McGuire. But he did make 8 starts this year and still could be an option to start a game in this postseason run. If you're Lynchburg, you're hoping they finish off this one and continue the postseason run in East Lake, Ohio next week. If you're Laverne, you hope to first force that game 3, the if necessary game, and then you go from there if you're the Leopards. And if you force that if necessary game if you're Laverne, then the first 2 games almost don't really matter. It's just one for all the marbles at that point. Colin McGuire got a swing through on the first pitch there from Nathan Perry. Strike 1. No, it's a pinch hitter. It's a pinch hitter for Laverne. Check swing. That's called a ball. This hitter is. This is Manuel. No. I'm going to find it for you, fans. It's number 16, Matthew Diaz. This is Matthew Diaz. Pinch hitting here for Nathan Perry. Ryan Garcia singled. Logan Reese singled. He's at second. Diaz will lift one to right. Madden on the run. Catches over his shoulder. He'll turn and sling this one back in the infield. So Diaz was a pinch hitter. He flies out to right. There are 2 outs now in the bottom of the 8th. Another well-placed mound visit from Michael Solbach. Got to tip your cap to Coach Solbach. He's another modest guy. He won't give himself any credit for that one, but I will. So after back-to-back singles, the fly out to right restores a little bit of order to the inning for Lynchburg defensively, and now there's 2 on and 2 outs for another pinch hitter. This is going to be number 21, Nolan Anguiano. Anguiano pinch hitting. Breaking ball, strike 1. So head coach Scott Winterburn not afraid to go to his bench in one of these situations here. Late in the game. He wants to shake things up. Back-to-back pinch hitters. Tapper back to McGuire. He fields plenty of time. Underhand flip to first base will be the final out of the 8th inning. It's 2 singles in the inning for Laverne, but 2 runners left stranded. Lynchburg holding on to the 6-2 advantage. Hornets will look for insurance in the top of the 9th inning. Hits 6 and 7 in the ball game for Laverne looked menacing for a moment, but Lynchburg taking the air out of the Leopards' attack. It's a fly ball to right. Quinn Madden makes a good play going over his shoulder to make a grab, and then a comebacker to Colin McGuire. He tosses to first for the final out of the 8th inning. Laverne has stranded 4 in the last 2 innings. And Lynchburg timely pitching now. Back to timely pitching for Lynchburg. They make some big pitches when they really need to, don't they? Lynchburg on top, 6-2. You got to say it's been timely hitting for the Hornets as well, as Lynchburg got their most recent runs off the bat of O'Kelly McWilliams. A 2-strike, 2-out base hit that scored a couple runners and gave Lynchburg his 4-run cushion. Hornets are on top, 6-2, and we are in the top of the 9th inning. This is game 2 of Super Regional action. As we go from the top of the 9th to the bottom of the 9th, we'll run down some of those other scores and figure out who officially will be in the D3 College World Series, the national championship, with the winner of this series, which right now, if Lynchburg can hold on and record 3 more outs, will be the Hornets for back-to-back seasons. Lynchburg, the 2023 national champions, and that title mode defense has been activated. It was something they didn't want to talk about too much early in the season, but now the guys and the coaches are discussing that more openly. They are saying, yes, we are the defending national champions, and we're acting like it. We're playing like it right now. So, yeah, title defense mode activated and looking very good so far. 9 in a row for Lynchburg in postseason play so far. Ben Jones whacking away with a 1-1 count. Now he'll watch one buzz by his chin, and it's a 2-1 setup with nobody out, none on, top of the 9th. Insurance runs would feel good for Lynchburg. A 4th hit of the game would feel good for Ben Jones. He's 3 for 4. He'll spray this one into the parking lot down the left field line, and now that's a 2-2 count. Yeah, Ben Jones bounced out to the first baseman in his first at-bat today. Doubled, singled, singled. Ben Jones coming alive. All this for a guy who's in the top 5 in Division III baseball in walks as an individual. Jones waiting on the 2-2. Here it comes. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. First baseman got a piece of that, but now Jones will scramble to first in time. I thought it was going to get through clean, but give Ryan Garcia credit just for getting a mid on that. Still, I think a base hit. Let's wait and see. Ooh, looks like they put an error on the board. I mean, Ryan Garcia really did well just to get around that ball. He got his glove on it. Back to the old ordinary effort standard for the hit or error discussion. I think Ben Jones is going to reach because of an error there. A little bit of tough luck for Ben Jones, but he hit the ball hard. Jones taking off on the run, first pitch. Madden takes the strike, feet first slide. Jones is out at second. Good exchange there behind the plate from our new catcher. I think that's Manuel Munoz at second. Catching a snap throw. Good one to fire on as well for Munoz. Travis Beasley wants to talk to the field umpire there at second base who made the call. It would be the first out in the top of the 9th inning if the call stands, and I don't see why it would be overturned, but another one where I also don't fault Travis Beasley for going out and asking the questions. It's a 6-2 Lynchburg lead. Hornets did trail briefly after the 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning for Laverne. Laverne went up 1-0 yesterday, so the Leopards have led a little bit in this series, but not when it's mattered the most. Lynchburg on top 6-2 in the top of the 9th. 0-1 count, call stands. Base is clear with 1 out. Curveball, strike 2 on Quinn Madden. Yeah, really tough there for Ben Jones. He hits the ball hard. He gets on because of an error, so that hurts the batting average, and then thrown out trying to steal second. Quinn Madden's in an 0-2 hole. Quinn Madden's got 1 hit today. He'll have to stay at 1 hit, at least for the time being anyway, as he swings through another breaking ball. Good action on that one. And it's 2 outs now in the top of the 9th. Pitcher for Laverne, by the way, is still number 47, Austin Kloppenstein. Ethan Morotsky's in the batter's box now, right-handed swinger. Has been appearing quite a bit in this postseason. He had a key pinch hit single in the first game against Case Western Reserve. That was a week ago yesterday. Last week in the Cleveland, Ohio Regional, Lynchburg beat Ithaca on day 1. And then it was 2 victories against Case Western Reserve. It was actually a week ago today, yeah. That first game against Case was on Saturday. And then Lynchburg took down the host school again on Sunday. 1-1 count for Ethan Morotsky. Wiggles the bat, waits on the pitch, well over his head for ball 2. Josh Jorman waiting on deck. Jorman 2 hits yesterday. So far in this one, Jorman is 0 for 1 with a walk. Had a deep fly out to right field. Ball that Logan Reese ran down on the warning track. One of the deeper balls we've seen hit this series. And probably only matched by the 2-run home run from Logan Reese. Ethan Morotsky has got a 2-2 count to work with now after he fouls away a fastball. None on with 2 outs. Lynchburg leading by 4 in the top of the 9th. Tall, lanky right-hander set. Now pitches. Morotsky can't catch up. It's a strikeout to end the top of the 9th. Here we go. Bottom of the 9th. Lynchburg is holding on to a 4-run lead. The home team is down to their final 3 outs. The home and host Laverne Leopards will need to come back from a 6-2 deficit to keep this series going. Lynchburg already winners yesterday. They only need to win 1 today to book a return trip to the Division III College World Series. They, if Lynchburg can hold on, will join teams like Birmingham Southern, who went 2-0 in their series with Denison. A 7-6 victory today for Birmingham Southern, a team that Lynchburg actually beat early in the season. Endicott has booked their spot. They take 2 over Johns Hopkins. Endicott is 46-2 on the season. Misericordia beat Christopher Newport 2 games. It was a 2-1 victory for Misericordia. They were in Cedar Rapids last year. It's another team that has had a lot of success in the last half decade or so. They're already having tickets punched to East Lake, Ohio. Salve Regina beat Salisbury 14-12 earlier today. So Salve is in East Lake, Ohio next week. Lynchburg leading Laverne 6-2. Oh, Pomona Pitzer has beaten ETBU 8-7 today. So Pomona Pitzer, a conference rival of this Laverne squad, is in the D3 World Series already. Randolph-Macon has a lead in Game 3 against Adrian, 6-3. So you could have 2 teams from the ODAC there, potentially. Wisconsin-Whitewater is up on Wisconsin-La Crosse, 8-2 in Game 3 of that series. This is Game 2 between Lynchburg and Laverne in a best 2 out of 3. So the Hornets have a cushion in the series. Lynchburg has a 4-run cushion in the game. Hornets on top, 6-2. We are in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's a 2-0 count to Aiden Salcido. Colin McGuire was high on his first, low on his second. This one's up and in to Salcido. No, another pinch hitter. I'm getting fooled again. I mean, Laverne's emptying the bench here with the pinch hitters. This is Anthony Salcido, Aiden's brother, who's in there. So we'll make a note of that. 3-0 count to Anthony Salcido. 4-pitch walk. He's on first. And if you're Lynchburg, the infielders will approach Colin McGuire and say, hey, no big deal. That run means nothing. That runner means nothing. Don't concern yourself with the guy on first base at all. And those are the things the Lynchburg infield should be telling Colin McGuire. That's the situation at hand. Laverne will need 4 to tie and send it to extras, 5 to walk it off and get to the, if necessary, Game 3. Nice adjustment there by Colin McGuire to get strike 1 on Malachi Francois. Pinch hit yesterday, starting today. He is 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. This ball in the dirt is going to bounce away from Sean Pokerock towards the third base side, and that's Lynchburg's dugout. Pokerock will pick it up. Runner advances. Again, statistically, it hurts Sean Pokerock a bit. I think that's going to be a passed ball, but doesn't really affect the game much. It takes the double play out of order. Double play is not a factor now anymore for Lynchburg's defense, rather. It's a defense that turned 2 key double plays yesterday. This ball pulled through the hole. Runner should hold at third. He does. Ethan Morotsky fires into the cutoff man from left field. And that is a single for Malachi Francois, his first hit of the game and series. So now what you don't like from a Lynchburg perspective is that Laverne is getting momentum. That walk, pass ball, and then single give the Leopards momentum. And typically, big comeback efforts are built on that. They are built on emotion. They are built on teams refusing to give up with their season on the line. And for the Laverne Leopards, their season is on the line here. They are 30-15-1, but they've only won 5 of their last 11. Leopards are 5-6 in their last 11 games. So the recent results have not been great for Laverne. The asterisk to that, or the caveat there, is that they won 3 in a row on the road in Trinity, Texas, in their 2-team regional to get to this spot. So a bit of a mixed bag, I guess you'd say, for Laverne in postseason play. For Lynchburg, sustained success, 9 in a row in the playoffs. Breaking ball is ball 1. Lynchburg is 34-15 total this season. They have won 13 of their last 15. 1-0 count. That's not as close, and it's ball 2. To the second baseman, Jared Banash. Banash has 2 hits, and they are both 2 strike hits. The Leopard 2-strike hitting approach has impressed. There's a belt-high fastball. That'll be called strike 1. It's a 2-1 count on Jared Banash. Double plays back in order, though, with runners at the corners. And if you're Lynchburg, you have a 4-run lead. You would trade 2 outs for a run. You trade 1 out for 1 run in this situation. Strike 2. That was in the upper right quadrant of the strike zone, and now it's an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see what McGuire goes with here. Nobody out, 2 runners on. The pitch is low. Full count to the 9-hole hitter, Jared Banash. Couple 2-strike hits already. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Ben Jones took a potential 3rd hit away from Banash with a diving backhand stop. McGuire is north of the zone on the full count pitch. It's 2 walks in the inning for McGuire. Colin McGuire started the 8th inning, did allow 2 singles there. So McGuire has not recorded an out in the 9th. This will be the 9th hitter he's faced. McGuire's given up 3 hits and 2 walks. Lynchburg at the moment grateful for the 4-run advantage. That's why you build up those leads. That's why you continue to pressure as an offense. That's why you keep grinding for more, as Brandon Garcia said in the interview yesterday. 1-0 count. McGuire missed low to Benny Vogel. The DH is hitless on the day. He has walked 1 time. Fastball inside, nearly hit Vogel. Other options are freshening in the Lynchburg bullpen right now. Lynchburg has used 3 pitchers. Austin Riney just faced 1 hitter. Travis Beasley's marching out of the dugout. It looks like Colin McGuire's day is going to end here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The bases are loaded. The tying run is at the plate. Let's see who Travis Beasley goes to get out of that Lynchburg bullpen. We'll pause for just a moment, and then we're coming right back. Lynchburg on top by 4, but the deal is not done yet as the Leopards are threatening in the bottom of the 9th. The new pitcher for Lynchburg will be a familiar face. It's the sophomore from Fishersville, Virginia. Mason McDowell is on to try to clean things up for Lynchburg and finish off a Game 2 Super Regional win. Lynchburg leads 6-2 over the Laverne Leopards. Lynchburg won Game 1 of the series yesterday. Hornets need to just get one win here today. Laverne would need to win twice to extend their season and book that spot to East Lake, Ohio. Laverne crowd coming alive as they should. Leopards have the bases loaded. It's a 2-0 count. Tying runners in the batter's box. It's Benny Vogel. Here's the first pitch from Mason McDowell. He dots the outer black with a hard fastball for strike one. It's a 2-1 count. McDowell inherited Colin McGuire's batter here. McGuire faced 8 and then 2 pitches to this man Vogel. How about that? Bottom rail heater from Mason McDowell. 2-2 count. What a start from the sophomore. He's pitched in some pressure spots last season and this year. Against Case Western, McDowell retired 6 in a row in 2 innings, and he's got one right here. High fastball that Vogel couldn't lay off of and he couldn't catch up to. McDowell's fastball is one that hovers in the low 90s. I think in the ODAC tournament, McDowell juiced a couple up to 93 and 94. That one had some zip. That had that sizzle out of the right hand from the sophomore Mason McDowell. 1 out, bases still loaded. It's still the tying run in the batter's box here. McDowell tried the breaking ball and missed. This is Ryan Vosica. He's 1 for 4. Struck out once, grounded out to the shortstop twice. 6-2. Lynchburg leads by 4, but the bases are loaded. Here's the pitch. That one does catch the outer edge for strike one. 1-1 count. For Laverne, I think it's pretty good speed all around the bases. Umpires are going to call time. Umpires are going to ask Mason McDowell to adjust something on the wrist there. He'll take something off. McDowell does wear the pitch communication device on his wrist, so it wasn't that. I think it was something else there for Mason McDowell. McDowell's set and ready. 1-1 with 1 out to Vosica on the way. Vosica's going to try a bunt. This is a good one. Gavin Collins, bare hand, throw, not in time. Run scores, and it's a bunt single from Ryan Vosica. Well, you got to say that's crafty and well-placed. You don't typically think about bunting for a base hit with the bases loaded when your team is down 4. Usually there you're thinking about, let me hit a bases-clearing double and be the winning run or tying run in scoring position. Vosica put down a beauty. Not much Gavin Collins could do. A run comes in and the bases are still loaded. It's 6-3 with Logan Reese. And Reese has power. Reese had a 2 RBI, 2-run home run in the first inning. Breaking ball from McDowell, just low and away. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. This is a guy that can end the game with 1 swing. And Reese does represent the game-winning run for Laverne. The bases are loaded here. 1-0 pitch. It's low. Not bad from McDowell there. It wasn't that bad of a pitch, but definitely a ball and a 2-0 count to Logan Reese. Runners at every station here for the Leopards. That means Lynchburg has some options as far as where you can go for an out. McDowell set. The right-hander peels off a fastball wide of the zone, and it's a 3-0 count. Lynchburg is feeling the pressure now. So crazy, this game of baseball, isn't it? Leopards come into the bottom of the inning down by 4, but they get runners on, and all of a sudden the pressure swings back to Lynchburg. Trying to hold on to a lead, trying to close a game down can be really tough. McDowell walked Reese on 4 pitches. That's an RBI walk, and now it's a 6-4 game. And the tying run is in scoring position. The bases are loaded. So Laverne still needs 2 to tie, but the tying run is in scoring position, and the winning run is at first. Lynchburg has recorded 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. This is Ryan Garcia. Fastball, strike 1. Good adjustment there by Mason McDowell. Garcia is a left-handed swinger. He's 1 for 4 today. Singled in his last at bat. It is really coming down to the wire here. It's never easy in the game of baseball. And you know what? In the playoffs, it probably shouldn't be easy. The competition gets tougher every step of the way. Laverne playing on their home field with their season on the line. Garcia's got an 0-2 hole. Mason McDowell going after him. This one's sprayed foul. And this is just everything you want in a college baseball game. Laverne, the host school, they lost yesterday. You knew they weren't going to go down without a fight. Mason McDowell's got a lot of fight, though, too. Right-hander, ready for another 0-2, and it's another strikeout. Mason McDowell went upstairs with the sizzling heater, and he got Ryan Garcia to wave at that one. So McDowell got Benny Vogel to strike out. That was an at-bat where McDowell actually inherited a 2-0 count. Gives up the bunt single to Vosica, walked Reese, strikes out Garcia. And now it comes down to this. It is Matthew Diaz, who pinch hit for the catcher, Nathan Perry. Diaz flew out to right in his first at-bat. He is yet to face Mason McDowell. 2 outs, bases loaded. Lynchburg's 1 out away. Laverne is 2 runs away from tying and 3 away from forcing the if-necessary game. What a start there by Mason McDowell to the at-bat. He twists off a hard slider for strike 1. 0-1 count on Matthew Diaz. McDowell set, looks at the target, nails it with a bullseye. It's strike 2. 0-2 count. Lynchburg, 1 pitch away, 1 out away from booking another trip to the D3 World Series. It's getting really good now. McDowell, is he going to go high fastball right here again? Let's see. The pitch. Oh, yeah. It was a heater upstairs, but give Diaz some credit. He laid off. That's what Vogel and Garcia could not do earlier in the inning. They were strikeout victims. All right, McDowell going back hard again, or the slider. Let's see. Mason McDowell, ready, aim, fire. This ball's floated to right, but Quinn Madden's there. A sliding grab. Quinn Madden makes the catch. Lynchburg has won it. It's a Lynchburg victory. 6-4 over Laverne. Oh, how the West was won. Lynchburg comes to Southern California. They take down the Leopards and advance to the D3 World Series for a 2nd straight season. It was lights, camera, action as the Hornets vibe train is full steam ahead and the national title defense is full steam ahead. Lynchburg is now on a serious roll. Last week we said Cleveland rocks and Lynchburg rolls. Yes, the Hornets roll on. They are an undefeated 10-0 in postseason play. They take down the Laverne Leopards in the Super Regional. Lynchburg won Game 1 yesterday, 7-1. They win Game 2, 6-4. There will not be an if-necessary game on this Saturday in late May as the Hornets do book the trip to East Lake, Ohio. They will join some outstanding teams that have already punched their tickets to the D3 World Series. The competition is sure to get even tougher for Lynchburg. But that national title defense is a real possibility right now for the Hornets as they win this one 6-4. Laverne's outstanding season will come to a close on their home field. They finish 30-16-1. This is a great Leopard squad, and they should feel good about what they've accomplished this season. They ran into the rolling vibes train that is a locomotive called the Lynchburg Hornets. Lynchburg, they jump up to 35-15, and they have ended another quality team's season. Lynchburg has won 10 in a row in postseason play, and the Hornets now have won 14 of their last 16. So many heroes in this one. So many heroes. And, guys, we could talk about how about Mason McDowell coming in right into the fire, and he had a gasoline suit on himself. He was pumping fumes in there. Quinn Madden with a great little sliding grab at the end of it to secure the win. Ben Jones had a 3-hit day. Brandon Garcia was his usual star-studded self. There's so many people in this series. O'Kelly McWilliams with that key 2-out, 2-strike base hit. That was in the 8th inning that gave Lynchburg 2 more runs. That ends up being the difference. Hornets win it 6-4. We will have post-game coverage all over Lynchburg's social media spots, and I know if you're tuned into this broadcast right now, you know what those are, so make sure you stay plugged into that. You're going to get some fire content, as usual, from the LHSN team. I'll start packing things up, and we'll go join a little mini celebration. We got to get a flight out back home. Lynchburg will have a couple days practice, and then they'll head to Northeast Ohio to try to defend that 2023 national championship. Lynchburg's 2024 season has been one for the ages as well. A story that had to be told. These guys are writing their own story. They've been calling it the Vibes Train. The good vibrations, the higher vibration that Lynchburg baseball is on right now. And it will continue for at least 2 more games in the Division III World Series. We can't wait to talk about it and bring you the action somehow. Might be a radio call, an audio-only broadcast for us again next week. But you know we're going to do something. We will be there. Lynchburg's baseball team will be there with a lot of support. And this has been so much fun. Lynchburg wins Game 2 over Laverne 6-4. A Game 1 victory, 7-1. Lynchburg still undefeated, 10-0 in the postseason. Congratulations to Coach Travis Beasley and his outstanding coaching staff. They deserve so much of the credit as well. We thank you for listening, baseball fans. We will talk to you again soon. We'll say good afternoon, good luck, and go Hornets. So long from Southern California.